The Derby Red Raiders come off 2 consecutive impressive Housatonic League victories against North Haven and Sheehan. Mark Urchano and Jim Lewis key the potent Derby running attack. Lewis scored 4 touchdowns against Sheehan, while Urchano rushed for 215 yards and scored 3 touchdowns against North Haven. The Ansonia Chargers love to throw the football. Quarterback Jeff Coppola has been connecting for scores with his wide receivers Kerry McNamara and Pat Ahern, as the Chargers have defeated their 6 opponents to date with relative ease. From Jarvis Field in Ansonia in the 68th Hello again, everyone. Ed Clements along with Buddy Chernovitz in this traditional intra-valley rivalry between the Ansonia Chargers and the Derby Red Raiders. Buddy, the first thing that always strikes me when I'm visiting the coaches during the week before an Ansonia football game is the fact that both coaches have their teams on the practice field longer than usual. No exception this year with head coaches Charlie DeCenzo of the Raiders and Bob Lisi of the Ansonia Chargers. They've definitely devoted more time in preparing their teams for this football game.
It's a big game for both teams. Obviously, they're backdoor neighbors. You don't want to, as a coach, leave anything to chance, and you just go over repetitiously the things that you're going to do so that the kids, when they come out on the football field, are confident that they know what assignment they have. So both coaches want to make sure when they leave that practice field on that Friday night that everything is done, no chance, and you know, Murphy's Law should not prevail in this football game. Both teams are ready to play.
All right. Let's get into the game a little bit. We're billing it, the media has been billing it as Ansonia's passing against Derby's running. Now, I happen to feel both teams possess offensive balance.
I think you're right, Edward. There's no question about the balance of Ansonia with Chernovitz and Robinson and running. You've got excellent throwing with Coppola, McNamara, and Ahern. Derby has outstanding running. Last week, both Lewis and Urchano over on 100-yard games. They throw the ball well. They don't throw it as good, obviously, as Ansonia, but anytime you have Tom Abel out there, Sears is able to get on the football, you can have a big play at any time. So both teams are balanced. It's going to be a good football game, I think, for the fans because the ball is going to move down the football field. All
right, buddy, you and I have seen Ansonia and Derby. We've seen them on a number of occasions. What do you look for in today's game?
Ansonia has to stop the running attack of Derby. If they do that, they're going to make the day an extremely long one for Derby. Derby, on the other side, has to contain the passing. They must stop and prevent Coppola from rolling out, having time to find Abel or, finding Ahern and McNamara. That's the key. Both teams have to take away the best thing that the other team does. The team that does that the best is going to win. They're both going to hit each other. There's no question about intensity. It's the ability to stop that other team's best part of their offense.
All right, earlier, Buddy had a chance to talk with head coach Charlie DeCenzo of the Derby Red Raiders, and here's how that interview went.
Coach, obviously a big one today. How do your kids feel coming into this game?
Oh, buddy, I think we're as prepared as we're going to be. The kids worked hard all week. We know we're playing a real good team, the #1 team in the state. They've been up there the last 4 or 5, well, the last 9 or 10 years, really. You know, you work as hard as you can. You do the things that you think you have to do to win. And you come in here, you try to make as few mistakes as you possibly can, and whatever happens after that, it's up to the man upstairs.
If you're successful today, what has to be a goal of your defensive team?
Defensively, you know, we have a tough task. We have to contain Coppola, first of all. He's just an outstanding quarterback. We've seen him play 4 or 5 games. He breaks contain all. He's outside all of the time. And he's got those great receivers, and he throws the ball real well. And if, you know, we can't take some of that away from them, we're not going to stop them. We just have to sort of slow them up a little bit, so at least, you know, they're not, you know, doing this consistently. If we can't do that and that offense, if we can't run the football a little bit and hold the ball away from them a little bit, we're in for a long day.
Great week last week with Urchano and Lewis. Probably the best running attack that Derby's had in a long period of time. Can you do that this week against Ansonia?
We're going to try. I don't know if we'll be as successful. I mean, Ansonia certainly is going to play defense a little tougher than what we saw last week. They're real aggressive up front, and we're going to try to go at them with both those kids. We'll try to throw the ball short a little bit, and you know, if we can control the ball a little bit, that puts the game sort of in our favor. We got to shorten the clock somehow.
Coach, again, thank you for stopping by, and we'll be right back with Coach Lisi. Thanks again.
Thank you, buddy.
Buddy also caught up with head coach Bob Lisi of the Ansonia Chargers, and here's how that interview went.
Coach, big game, obviously. It's a backdoor rivalry. What do you have to take away from Derby offensively for your kids to walk off the field at the end with a W?
You know, buddy, over the last couple of weeks, Derby has been staying mainly on the ground with Orchino and Lewis, and I know that Jimmy Lewis had an early season injury, but he's come back 100%. And with that combination back there, I think he's eased off on his passing. But that's not to say that Searles can throw the ball, and Tom Abel is a real fine receiver. So I think we're going to have to primarily stop the run first and hopefully force them to go to the air.
A lot of kids going one way for you today, a change for you. Why?
Not really, buddy. I think that's the case around here. We don't have it's not an exceptional amount of kids going two ways. So I think it's probably the norm. It's not really any more than usual.
Kids ready to play?
I'll tell you, buddy, on a day like today, with the kind of people here and the two real fine football teams, you know, I think, and I know Charlie thinks it's high school football at its best. On a day like today, you can't beat it, and I know Charlie and myself and the kids, where else would you rather be?
Coach, we're looking forward to a great one. Again, thanks for stopping by, and Eddie and I will be right back.
Thanks, buddy.
Buddy, we have all the elements of another traditional Ansonia Derby high school football game under rather ideal weather. A little bit brisk breeze here at Jarvis Field, but we're going to have a great football game, I'm sure of it, right here at Jarvis Field. And we'll be right back with the opening kickoff right after these messages.
Good morning. Derby Savings Bank has done it again. They've made banking convenient for everyone. If you can't seem to find the time to get to the bank, Derby Savings now has Sunrise Banking. Every Thursday and Friday morning at 7 o'clock, their friendly professional staff is wide awake and ready to help you get a head start on the day. They'll even treat you to fresh brewed coffee and delicious donuts. So get your morning off to a great start at Derby Savings Bank.
Hi, I'm Mike Healy from Healy Ford, Main Street, Ansonia. We're having our annual used car closeout sale.
Hey, Mike, look at these used 1985 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supremes, each price to sell at $99.95.
Hey, Sam, look at these used 1985 Dodge Aries four-door sedans, price to sell at $75.95.
Healy Ford offers the lowest interest rates anywhere, up to 48 months to pay.
That's Healy Ford Subaru, Main Street, Ansonia, Route 34, Derby.
Doesn't that look delicious? And it smells terrific. Can't you just taste the processed cheese, the soggy crust? And what about all those preservatives? Why eat that processed food when you can have a delicious pizza from Rosamina's restaurant in Shelton? Rosamina's uses the freshest ingredients to make their pizza, and the taste proves it. Now, aren't you glad you came to Rosamina's?
Hi, I'm Rich Grandy. I'm running for mayor in Derby. In the past year, our taxes have gone up 5.5 mils. Our streets are a mess, and when you call the mayor's office, you get an answering machine. Elect me as your mayor. I'll hold the line on those taxes. I'll clean those streets, and I'll be there when you call. Some people say, let the progress continue. I say, let the progress begin.
Vote for Richard Grandy and the entire Democratic team. On November 5th, pull the top lever.
Experience Election 85, live exclusively on WVCV Channel 10B.
We're ready for the opening kickoff here at Jarvis Field in Ansonia. Ansonia Derby football on Valley Cablevision's high school football game of the week. Kicking off for the Chargers just a moment will be Joe Chernovitz. And going deep for the Red Raiders, Jim Lewis, Ron Sheehy, along with Tom Abel. There's Joe Chernovitz. puts his foot rather into the football. We're underway here at Jarvis Field. That is Shee with the football, being brought down at about the 30-yard line. Make that the 25-yard line, where the Red Raiders will put the football in play. Emil Brecklin made the tackle for Ansonia. And on your screen right now, the offensive alignment of the Derby Red Raiders. And it's the same offensive set as last week's game against the Sheehan Titans. 1st and 10 for Derby. I formation. We give to the second back. That is Lewis. Gets 3 through the center of the line. Ed Caruso on the tackle for the Chargers. And let's take a look at that Ansonia defense. Football marked at the 28-yard line, a 2nd and 7 for the Raiders. Just underway. They won the opening coin toss, and they elected to receive. In motion, that is Tom Abel. They give again. Lewis gets some good yardage off the right side. He gets near the yardage needed for a 1st down. Before a stop by Ed Gerolman along with Eric Zelitis. And it's a 3rd and about 1.5 yards for the Derby Red Raiders as they break the huddle and approach the line of scrimmage. 3rd down play. Searles is the quarterback, and Archano gets the call, and he has the 1st down. The Red Raiders pick up a 1st down, 3 running plays.
Straight ahead football. Watch here now. Straight ahead dive inside. Archano bowling ahead. He's got the 1st down. He's very close to getting a big play out of that on that short yardage defense. Broke the line of scrimmage. Derby is sending early messages here. They're coming right at Ansonia, and they're doing a good job. Lewis, Archano, as we saw in the early interview with Coach Lisi, they have to stop the running attack, and Derby is going to come right at him, it seems, early in this football game.
Split backs for the Red Raiders. Inside handoff, this time going for little yardage is Lewis. Number 86, Ed Henry, wrapping up Lewis at the line of scrimmage.
Over on the far side of the field, Coach Jolly DeCenzo has been, as we see on the replay, straight ahead playing right there at the line of scrimmage. Ed Henry for no gain. As I said, Coach Jolly DeCenzo has been yelling at the linesman over something that he's very upset about.
And as Searles, the quarterback, hands off to Lewis. Lewis finds some daylight off the right side. He slides to the 44-yard line. Jim Lewis, junior running back for the Derby Red Raiders. Craig Zielinski on the stop for the Ansonia Chargers. And a 3rd and 3 facing the Red Raiders. They have the football at their 44-yard line. Just what Coach DeCenzo wanted to do thus far early in the football game, the Raiders are doing.
Establish the running game, coming right at Ansonia, and they're moving the football extremely well here in the 1st series.
Split backs. Searles with the football after the fake inside. Gerolman is equal to the task. And assisted by Lou Fascini from his linebacker position.
Great call that time by the Derby staff. That was an attempted bootleg. Searles did not get outside of Eddie Gerolman, though, because Eddie did a great job of reading it, but it was a good call. Sets up a 4th down on the 49-yard line, and Derby is going to punt the ball to Ansonia.
Well, let's watch Jim Lewis this week, because remember last week against Sheehan, he ran.
This is Ansonia this week, though. It's not Sheehan.
That's Tom Fossey. A fine punt. Great hang time. It's just going to roll dead inside the Ansonia Charger 20-yard line. And the Ansonia Chargers will go on offense. And speaking about that offense, let's take a look at the Ansonia's offense. It's on your screen right now. One change to note as we show you the starting lineup, the fact that the tight end will be the junior Mike Shorto replacing Ed Henry. Actually, Ansonia will employ 3 tight ends during the course of the game. So one change, Shorto in at tight end to start the football game. In just a moment, after this play from scrimmage, we'll give you the Derby defense. Chargers have it at their 15-yard line. They start with the I. They give to the fullback, Joe Chernovitz, off the right side for a couple. Mike Jadek from his defensive end position made the stop for the Raiders. Now let's take a look at that Derby defense. The same defense that they used against the Sheehan Titans. When you're successful, I guess you don't want to change it. You stay with it. So a second down coming up for the Chargers. They have it at their 18-yard line. First quarter action from here at Jarvis Field in Ansonia. Coppola on a rollout, has some room on the Derby side of the field, runs out of bounds near the yardage needed for the first down. Not quite, I don't think he quite made enough. Closest defender for the Raiders, John Tilkey, from his outside backer position.
One of the things that we saw early on from Coach DeCenzo in the interview was the Derby defense must stop the rollout and contain Jeff Coppola. Jeffrey that time was able to get outside, and if he does this all afternoon, it's going to put a great deal of pressure on that Derby secondary.
Well, the football is marked at the 22-yard line. It's a 3rd and 3 for Ansonia, their first possession of the day. Coppola wants to throw the football near sidelines, has McNamara, but that's not going to be enough for a first down. Great coverage by number 45, that is John Bogart for the Raiders.
This year, we've watched Ansonia run that play a number of times, and John Bogart did the best job of covering McNamara on that outplay of anybody we've seen. So if that's an indication of how Derby is going to cover it, this may be a very interesting football game, because he's short of the third or the first down, and it's going to put Ansonia in a punting situation right around their own 25-yard line.
Oh, they're calling for the change, but from where we sit, it doesn't look like as if the Chargers have made it. I think will be confirmed in just a moment. They are short. See the indication. A few inches, and Coach Lisi, not wanting to chance anything this early in the football game, will punt the football away. Pat Ahern is the Ansonia punter. Going back deep on the other end, Ron Sheehy, Tom Abel, along with Mark Orchano. And Buddy, I think we might have commented one time, just an ideal football day.
A little bit of wind, but it doesn't seem that it will make much difference either in the kicking game or the passing game. It really is a beautiful day, and the fans are continuing to come in to the stadium here, and it's going to be a big crowd.
And Ahern gets off a high punt, a fair catch called for by Abel, and the Raiders will be set up with some very good field position at their 42-yard line. And with a break in the action and no score, let's break for these messages.
Hello, people of the lower Naugatuck Valley. I am sitting up here on the bleachers of Jarvis Field. All of you know that football's a big business in the valley. Just like football, good business takes teamwork. When you speak of honor, it's always nice to be able to do business with people who express honor in their transactions with you. And one of them that I know so very well is the Ansonia Tire.
Good morning. Can I help you?
I hope you can. I need 4 dozen T-shirts for a company picnic, and it's this afternoon.
No problem. Here you go. 4 dozen T-shirts.
Thank you very much. I didn't think you could do it.
Neither did I.
Getting a haircut can be fun at the Yankee Clipper. Come on in, get a trim from Tom Backlick, the #1 barber in Derby. And then, when you're done, run next door and enjoy a delicious ice cream sundae or other goodies at the Scoop Deck. You'll leave the Yankee Clipper and the Scoop Deck feeling satisfied and looking great. The Scoop Deck and the Yankee Clipper. Now there are 2 good reasons to stop by the Marina Village in Derby.
Jim Lewis has just taken the first down carry for the Raiders on a pitch out from Searles and brought the football up to his 44-yard line, stopped there by Ed Henry, 6'5", 225-pound senior. 2nd and 8 coming up for the Raiders after the Ansonia punt. They have the football at their 44-yard line. two wide receivers. You can see one wide receiver in the upper part of your screen. And then the I formation, that's the give to Lewis again.
Nice job that time. You'll see here, Cyril's hand the ball off. Orchano kicking out at the end on the sprint draw, and Lewis dragging tackler forward for about an 8-yard gain, setting up a third and very short, but Derby is running the football, and they're doing it as well as I think Coach DeCenzo would expect him to do right now early in the second or in the first quarter.
Third and short, and they're just across midfield into Ansonia territory. That is Orchano, and I don't believe he has the yardage unless they're going to award him the second effort yardage.
Great short yardage defense that time by Ansonia. Orchano went nowhere. Second effort, you'll see here, he does make about a yard on second effort, but right here he stopped. He attempts to break outside, and there's no whistle, and he does get about a yard, but he's going to come up still short of that. Not even a measurement, creating a fourth down, and Coach DeCenzo right here is going to punt the football. Again, field position, both teams looking for field position and are going to test each other, waiting for a break.
Back in single safety is McNamara. Let's see if Fossey punts the football away. He will. And McNamara on the other end, looking into the sun, decides to let the football roll. It rolls out of bounds in the vicinity of the 10-yard lines where the Chargers will put the football and play their second possession. A chess game thus far, and Derby having the better of it in terms of field position.
Excellent punting so far by Derby and Tommy Fossey, pinning the Chargers back inside their 20-yard line both times at the 15, now at the 10-yard line, and that limits the offensive selection for Coach Bob Lisi. You don't want to make a mistake or create a turnover down here, and you're going to be very basic with that offensive set.
First down for the Chargers. They have it at their own 10-yard line. Capola throws on first down in and out of the hands of Shortle at the 20-yard line, 25. Incompleted pass, number 80, John Tilkey, defending for the Raiders.
Watch here now the dive fake inside to Chernovitz here to hold the linebackers. Excellent thrown ball here. He just dropped it. He did not concentrate on it all the way, but it was a well-thrown ball. And I think if Mike Shortle had that back again in the end of the game today, he's going to make that catch.
Well, checking in at that tight end position is Ed Henry, replacing Shortle at the tight end position. First quarter action, we are scoreless, and Derby has Ansonia pinned deep. Capola wants to throw again. No, hands off on a delayed handoff. Robinson, and maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a loss of one on the play.
Watch here now, sprint draw. See Chernovitz kick outside here. Robinson comes inside on the draw, but Derby reads it extremely well. He lost a yard on it. Derby's doing a good job containing the basic part of that Ansonia offensive package.
Let's give credit to Ron Benito, the initial tackle for the Raiders. And a 3rd and 11 facing the Chargers. They've been treated rudely thus far by their visitors from Derby. Capola wants to throw again into his own end zone, being pressured. Capola rolling out, throwing downfield, incomplete, almost intercepted. Ron Sheehy was all over Terry McNamara. It goes as an incompleted pass.
Great job that time on force or contained by Jadek. Defensive end there did a nice job chasing down Jeffrey Capola, almost grabbed him in the end zone, forced the throw, and then Sheehy did a good job of getting in to break that up. Very, very aggressive defense on the part of the Derby Red Raiders so far, and they're gaining field position every time now.
That's right.
As the punt is going to come, you see back there, the punt is going to come from Ahern inside his end zone.
He's in the end zone. Let's see if he gets off another fine punt. He does. It's high and a fair catch called for at the Ansonia 45-yard line by Ron Sheehy. Well, the Raiders are gaining. They're gaining about 15 yards a clip now on the change of possessions.
13-yard plus on that change of possession. And they'll start inside Ansonia territory now for the first time. They've run the ball very well. Both Orchano and Lewis have done a good job, and expect to see them again come back. They split back formation.
Greta Doria out to the left side, out to the right side is Abel in the I formation. That's Orchano, and a little bit of second effort. Mark crosses the 40 down to the 37-yard line before he is spilled in the secondary by Holman.
Watch the trap inside. Orchano breaks the first tackle. Good trap block at the line of scrimmage, and he's down very close to a first down. Excellent running attack by Derby. They picked off where they've left off the last couple of weeks, and they've got two outstanding running backs in that backfield. And the more they run, the better their passing attack is going to come when they finally decide to give Tommy Abel the football.
Second down, second and short for the Raiders. They have it inside the Ansonia 40. That is Abel in motion. And the give to Orchano. He stood up, but not before Orchano picks up another 3 yards on the play. It appears to have a Derby Red Raider first down. A few of the Chargers in on the tackle, led by Ed Caruso along with Ed Henry for the Chargers.
Watch right here off tackle. Lewis leads, Orchano follows, and Orchano does a great job of following his blockers. He gets more than enough yardage for the first down and puts the ball inside the 35-yard line of the Chargers.
Yeah, that's this methodical offensive attack on the ground for the Red Raiders. They have a first down, and they do a little bit of shifting.
One of the things, Edward, is as long as Derby has the ball, the Chargers can't score.
That's correct. It's Searles
play.
Throwing out to Abel. Abel cutting across the middle, but the good defensive work by the Chargers contains a play. Fashini, along with Eric Jezelitis, the two backers on the stop for Ansonia.
Watch the throw out right here to Tommy Abel. The tackle comes outside right there, number 70. He'll take the first outside guy. He blocks him. Now Tommy comes back inside a little too much to break it, but he does get about 4 or 5 yards on it. Excellent block that time by Scarpolato. Good job by George Scarpolato taking the corner out.
But good defense by Ansonia. Picks up a pickup of 2 on that play. 2nd and 8 for the Raiders. A handoff. That's Lewis. Lewis into the secondary. Lewis close to the 20-yard line. He might have another Raider first down.
One of the things when you have two running backs like Lewis and Orchano, the more you give him the ball, you'll see right here Jimmy Lewis does a great job. Orchano kick out, Lewis right up the gut, and the more you give him the football, he's very close to breaking one every time. He's going to break 1 or 2 in this football game, either Lewis or Orchano, if they keep getting into the secondary as they have been so far in this first quarter.
Raiders are definitely on the move just outside the Ansonia 20-yard line, and another Raider first down. Mark Searles is the quarterback as Derby set up in an I formation. That is Orchano being belted at the line of scrimmage. Ed Caruso led the attack for the Chargers.
Eddie was not blocked. You'll see right here, he's off the block right there, and he is right on the tackle of Mark Orchano. He must have been on a little bit of a stunt because the center could not pick him up that time. And Jimmy Stewart had a lot of problems trying to handle him. He's right inside the seam, and it's a no gain for Derby on us, bringing up 2nd down and 10 on the 20-yard line.
Now let's see if Coach DeCenzo goes pass on 2nd down. Wide receivers either side of the field, a passing formation for the Raiders, and a flag dropped by the official on the opposite side of the field. And by the way, the Raiders are clapping their hands. It's going to be an encroachment call coming up against the Chargers.
I said early on that Charlie DeCenzo was yelling about that from the beginning of the football game, and he must have yelled loud enough because he picked himself up 5 yards on an encroachment. He's been complaining that one of the Ansonia football players has been lining up since the first play of the game offsides, and he just got the call. Very big call for him, but he's worked that call since the beginning of the game.
So it's a 2nd and 5 for the Raiders. They have it at the Ansonia 16-yard line. That is Abel in motion. And the give to Orchano. Orchano inside the 10 to the 5.
They're coming right at Ansonia. Again, Mark Orchano and Jimmy Lewis. This time Orchano right off tackle here with Lewis leading. He gets right up in there. He follows his blockers. He's still following Jimmy Lewis, and he almost breaks it right there. He's down to about the 6-yard line, and I'm very impressed with this Derby running attack as they have control of the ball for almost the entire first quarter as we have about 45 seconds left to go in the first period. The domination so far of this Derby offensive line and backs against the Ansonia is something that I don't think we really expected.
And it's a 1st and goal coming up. There's a timeout on the field.
You see Coach Bob Lisi right now. They're trying to make a defensive adjustment. They are being hurt basically on the straight-ahead dive play by either Lewis and Orchano, and they've got to pull themselves together or they're going to find themselves behind for the first time this year in a football game.
Well, he's talking to Lou Fashini, who must be calling the defensive signals. Lou is a 5'11", 195-pound senior linebacker. And Fashini gets back into the football game. So the Raiders have a 1st and goal. They have the football at the Ansonia 6-yard line, and we've got under a minute to play here in the first quarter at Jarvis Field in Ansonia. Exciting Valley High School football on Valley Cablevision's High School Football Game of the Week. And thus far, this game has lived up to everything it has been billed to be. And we have seen that. We talked about the Derby running game. We have seen it.
And Coach DeCenzo was still talking to that linesman as he walked off the field.
Well, Derby spreads out that formation. I formation, 2 wide receivers either side of the field. Lewis picking his way down to the 4-yard line. The traffic is a little rougher down there. Foschini came up to meet the play. And a 2nd and goal for the Raiders, and time clicking off the clock here at Jarvis Field. Thus far, it's been all Derby. Derby's had the good field position, and after the latest Ansonia punt, Derby took over on the Ansonia 45-yard line. Methodically, they've moved the football down the field. They may not get this play off, and they don't. That is the conclusion of the first quarter from here at Jarvis Field in Ansonia. We are scoreless.
Attention, I am Mortimer, the computerized lobby mortgage officer here at Electrobank. Our conversation is being videotaped and will be reviewed by a real person within 90 days. Commence supplying information at the sound of the tone. State page and volume number of property listing. State page.
At some banks, applying for a mortgage can be a stressful experience. But at the Savings Bank, we'll help you with your mortgage plans every step of the way. We will meet with you, person to person. We'll guide you through every detail of the application process and help you choose a mortgage plan that's right for you. Our mortgage package will make applying even easier. Besides competitive rates, what makes a mortgage from the Savings Bank even better is a response in just 5 days. Come talk to us about your mortgage at the Savings Bank of Ansonia, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
At Seymour Shell and Tire, we're old-fashioned. It may be old-fashioned to check your oil, wash your windows, and inspect your tires. But sometimes the old ways are still the best ways. At Seymour Shell and Tire, our mechanics still care about our customers, and that's something that will never change. Seymour Shell and Tire, located on Main Street in Seymour.
From contemporary to colonial, Joseph's Furniture has just what you're looking for. Joseph's, the area's most exciting furniture store, has a wide selection of living room sets, dining rooms, bedrooms, bedding, and water beds. Joseph's Furniture has been known for many years for its fine reputation among Valley homemakers. So when you need to decorate, think of Joseph's. Their knowledgeable and friendly sales staff can make furniture shopping an enjoyable experience. Visit Joseph's now during their expansion sale.
Connecticut School of Electronics gave me more than just a good education. They helped me find a great job.
Most schools just give you an education. At the Connecticut School of Electronics, the education is only the beginning. They offer a wide variety of courses in electronics, computers, and robotics for both men and women. And after graduation, their placement service will start you on your way. Over 97% of all Connecticut School of Electronics graduates are working. That's just as important as the education itself. After all, what good is an education if you don't get a job?
Derby sets up shop and a 2nd and goal situation. They have it at the Ansonia 4-yard line to start the second quarter of play from here at Jarvis Field in Ansonia. That offensive line has been doing the job thus far for the Raiders. Split backs for the Raiders. The quarterback is Searles. Behind him, Lewis and Orchano. Lewis stopped at the line of scrimmage, and the Chargers equal to the task on that particular play. The whole center of that Ansonia line. Let's give credit to O'Neill, Henry, Caruso. Also, Emil Brecklin.
Lewis hit the line of scrimmage like a cannon, and he was stopped dead. Right there, you see Ansonia equal to the task. They are tough up front, and I'll tell you, for Derby to get the football in, they're going to have to knock a few people down, and there are some big trees in that forest out there in the Ansonia football team.
Well, the Raiders have advanced the football down to the 3-yard line. It's a 3rd and goal for Derby. Raiders back in an I formation. In motion, that is Abel. Searles wants to throw the football on 3rd and goal. Looking over the middle, throws in the end zone. It is caught for a Derby touchdown. Mark Rodadoria.
Watch right here as Searles comes out. He's looking to the outside to throw the ball, and then he turns back inside. He finds Gradoria, who's coming across from the backside. Right here, Mark is looking to his right. He's trying to find Tommy Abel. There in the right, top corner, you see 21, Gradoria, right there. And he throws the ball right there, making a great catch. And it puts Ansonia in trouble for the first time this year in Derby in the driver's seat, 6-0 here with 11:08 to go in the second quarter.
Well, Bogart will try to make it 7-0, and I think he does. He did. Bogart splits the uprights. The teams come upfield. The Raiders, surprisingly, on top of the Chargers early in this football game. 7 for Derby. Ansonia, nothing. Searles hooking up with the wide receiver, Mark Gradoria. Today's coverage of the high school football game of the week is a presentation of WVCV Sports Valley Cablevision Incorporated. It is intended solely for the viewing enjoyment of Valley Cablevision subscribers. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of Valley Cablevision is prohibited. Well, there was a cheer on the Ansonia side. They're trying to rally behind the Ansonia Chargers, but this Derby Red Raider club is an excellent football club.
As you see, one of the many signs that are here at the football game, KC 101 running their promotional. This is their game of the week, and at halftime we'll be talking to the coach of KC 101, Coach George DeMayo.
Terry McNamara bringing back Bogart's kickoff back to the 37-yard line. Let's see if the Derby score has done something to awaken Ansonia's attack. Ansonia takes over in their best field position of the day.
Right here, you see him coming right up the middle. He's very close again to breaking it. Nice tackle. Prevents him from making that last break and out into the open field. Good field position for the first time. Ansonia started on their 15 and 10. Now they're at least at their 37-yard line.
Single setback in the backfield for the Chargers. Coppola comes out throwing on first down, throws out to Shorto. Shorto, far sideline, midfield, barrels over a couple of the Raiders and gets down to the 41-yard line.
Great play that time out of this single back offense. Watch now as Shorto breaks downfield. Watch the block right here for number 10, McNamara, as he comes into your picture right here. Look at that block. He's knocking down, creates that outside lane, and makes it a big play for the Chargers. McNamara not only can catch the ball, but he does a heck of a job blocking when he's not receiving the ball. And for some reason, Coach DeCenzo is right out on the field, and again he's talking to the same official. And whether it's the alignment, he is concerned about something. He would not be on the field unless he really feels that there's something wrong.
It was Chris King along with Ron Shee from the secondary of Derby bringing down Shortle. But not before the Chargers have that first down on the Derby Red Raider 41-yard line. Second quarter action from here at Jarvis Field in Ansonia under just an ideal day for high school football. This is our Valley Cablevision High School football game of the week. And when you have Derby and Ansonia, what other game would be the Valley High School football game of the week?
There you see with the headphones, Jimmy Delavolpe, who handles part of this Ansonia attack for them, along with John Hunt. Right now, they're in excellent field position.
Single setback, and that is Chernovitz. He gets a straight handoff from Coppola, gets down to the 40, maybe down to the 39-yard line. Dan Shea, along with Jeff Gabinelli and Tony Kaprinski on the stop for the Derby Red Raiders. Second down play coming up. We'll call the football spotted at the 39-yard line of the Red Raiders. Derby leads 7-0. Single setback. 3 wide receivers for the Chargers. Coppola wants to throw, being pressured by the Raiders. Throws. It is intercepted. In and out of the hands of Ed Henry and intercepted.
Watch right here, Ed Henry, as Coppola breaks outside. Ed Henry has the ball in his hands, but it just pops out of his hands, and it is into the hands of the Derby Red Raiders. John Telke, the interception, and it stops that Ansonia momentum and that drive that they had going. And on their own 32-yard line, Derby has pretty good field position.
Split backs for the Derby Red Raiders. Handoff straight ahead, still on his feet. That is Archano breaking into the secondary and getting up to the 46-yard line before he's eventually dropped by Gerolman.
Eddie Gerolman, 1 man away from going all the way. Inside Archano, he keeps breaking tackles, and Eddie Gerolman makes a saving tackle Great gain, but again, right up the middle by that Derby offensive football team. They're coming right at Ansonia, and they're moving the football.
In the top of your screen, that is Abel. On the other side is a wide receiver is Greta Doria. Check that, Saku in the lineup. That is Searles trying to throw the football. It's sacked in the backfield. Eric Jezelitis made the play for the Chargers.
Watch outside now as Searles tries to come outside. He has no place to go. Right there, he's taken down for about a 6-yard loss. Derby having great success inside, hoping that they can make that fake inside the hole of linebackers and get outside that time, but the Ansonia defense read it extremely well.
Oh, it's a 2nd and 14 coming up for the Red Raiders. Let's see what they do on the 2nd down play. They have it at their 41-yard line. Again, a handoff. Going to Jimmy Lewis. It's fumbled, and the Chargers have picked up the loose football.
Big defensive turnover now for Ansonia. They lost the ball a moment ago as you see Jimmy Lewis coming inside. He's popped right here, and he loses the football. The ball is knocked loose right there, and Ansonia comes up with the recovery on their own 40, or on the Derby 44-yard line. A big play now for the Chargers. Let's see if they can convert it into some points for their offense.
Well, it was the brothers sharing on the fumble recovery. Eric Jezelitis and his older brother, Al. First down play, that's a pass to Shorto over the middle to from Coppola down to the 33-yard line. Where it's a stop by Shee.
Shortle does a great job here. A nice fake inside the Chernovitz, setting it up. The linebackers are held, and he's wide open. Shortle is wide open as he goes down the field, and they have had the tight end pretty much wide open all day.
Checking into the Ansonia backfield now, into the huddle, I should say, is Vieira. I see Vieira come in. I look for something like a tight end screen.
Good call, Edward. They do run that tight end screen to him.
Let's see what happens. First down. Coppola throws out to the near side. It is in and out of the hands of Pat Ahern to the near side. And a 2nd down coming up for the Ansonia Chargers. Coverage provided by Captain Tom Abel, 5'11", 185-pound senior for the Raiders. Our score is 7-0, and we are in the 2nd quarter of play. Derby leads from here at Jarvis Field in Ansonia. And checking into that football game for the Chargers, the tight ends obviously bringing in the plays for the Ansonia Chargers. They have 3 wide receivers. Now Coppola motioning for McNamara to go in motion. Coppola wants to throw out to McNamara. He finds Terry on the far sideline, short of the yardage needed for the first down. McNamara goes out at about the 27-yard line.
Little Z in. McNamara was in motion. He comes in and then goes right back out to the sidelines. Coppola hits him real well there. He's wide open, and he sidesteps the sidelines, and there he is just trying to get as much yardage as he possibly can. But he comes up about 4 yards short. 3rd and about 4. Interesting call because I think Ansonia has the opportunity to go for it on 4th down where they are on the field. So it's a 2-down situation for them.
So 3rd and 4 for Ansonia. They have it at their 20 at the Derby 26-yard line. That is McNamara in motion. 2 wide receivers out to the left side. A single setback. Coppola wants to throw. Looks out to the near side. Incomplete. Intended for McNamara, and going for the football with him, making the defensive play, Tilkey from his outside backer position.
Nice job here. Coppola on the roll. Lets the ball go, but John Tilkey comes up and pops him just as he's extended, trying to reach for the football. Nice defensive job by Derby and John Tilkey. Ball was not really well thrown by Jeffrey Coppola that time, and it creates now that 3rd and 4 with Ansonia going for it about the 26-yard line.
4th and 4. Chargers going for the first down. Single setback. Coppola's going to throw the football. Has the time. Throws. It is intercepted. Intercepted at the 30-yard line. That is Bogart, and the Red Raiders take over on the turnover. And with the score, Derby 7, Ansonia nothing in the 2nd quarter of play. Let's break for these messages.
Martha Colburn reporting live from Allen's Plumbing Supply, Route 67, Seymour.
And here he is, John Allen, with another important plumbing announcement.
Thank you.
I'm here to announce wholesale to the public prices, cash and carry, on plumbing, heating, and well supplies, kitchen and bathroom cabinetry, and you can do it yourself.
Save big at Allen's Plumbing Supply of Seymour.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Do you suffer from headaches, pinched nerves, or lower back pain, and no matter what you do, you can't relieve the pain? Go and see Dr. Frank Forte. Dr. Forte is a chiropractor. After a careful examination, he can recommend chiropractic treatment to alleviate the pain. Dr. Forte can also help you prevent problems from occurring by teaching you how to take care of your body and by detecting problems early. Call the Seymour Chiropractic office now. There is no need to suffer any longer.
Hi, welcome to the Huntington House.
The Huntington House in Shelton has got just what you were looking for. An intimate atmosphere, excellent service, and a large menu filled with a variety of delicious dishes. And when you're finished with dinner, the Huntington House also has a lounge where you can sit back, relax, and meet new people. The Huntington House has something for everyone. So after the game or anytime, come to the Huntington House. Exit 12 off Route 8 in Shelton. Bill's Pershing Mobile in Derby has got it all. Bill's, well known for its excellent automobile repair service, also has a snack shop and a full-service island to make things nice and easy for their customers. Bill's even offers a 15-minute oil change for those of us that don't have time to sit around and wait. So come in and see for yourself why Bill's Pershing Mobile means convenience. Bill's Pershing Mobile, Pershing Drive in Derby.
So the Red Raiders take over after the Ansonia mistake. Handoff, straight handoff. That goes to Archano inside. Archano gets up to the 33-yard line.
We'll get right here the interception. Now Coppola rolls again. Good pressure by Derby, but John Bogart steps right in front there of Shortell, and he is going to get the ball back down the field. A nice return. Right there, McNamara, again, an all-purpose football player making the tackle. But Derby has been equal to the task so far this afternoon. Their offense has done an excellent job controlling the football, and their defense has come up with a big play when they've needed it.
Second down play, I formation for the Raiders as to give to number 40. That's Jimmy Lewis on a fine individual shoestring tackle at the line of scrimmage. Ed Jerolman.
Jimmy Lewis is going to try and get outside of here. He decides right now to go to the corner. But Eddie Jerolman, again, another great tackle for him, and he is playing an outstanding football game in that secondary for Ansonia. 3 excellent, real game-saving tackles for him so far, and we're only in the middle of the second quarter.
If Jerolman had not made those plays, very possibly we would have been looking right now at a 14-0 Derby lead. Third down play for the Raiders.
Derby goes into that single back also.
That is Archano, left side. He picks up 2 to the 35. Stopped there by Foschini from his linebacker position, so the Raiders will have to punt the football away. Thus far, Ansonia's passing game has been slowed up. 2 key interceptions by the Raiders off the Coppola pass. Tilke picking off 1, and most recently Bogart. 7-0 Derby in the second quarter of play. Tom Fossey will do the punting for the Raiders, standing at his 22-yard line, gets the snap from center, and another fine punt floating down in the vicinity of the 35. A fair catch called for by McNamara, falls backwards, and that's where the Chargers will take over on their 34, 1st and 10.
Ansonia put a lot of pressure that time on Tommy Fossey, but he got the punt off. An excellent punt, extremely high and deep, forcing McNamara into the fair catch, and so far everything has gone Derby's way. They've done an excellent job running the ball. They've done a great job defensively, and their specialties have done a very good job of keeping Ansonia out of good field position.
Don't forget, for our viewers out there, coming up sometime in the second half, our high school football hero salutes. Well, Ansonia, when I saw Brecklin check into the football game, they're going to the wishbone. First time this afternoon. That is Robinson sliding off the left side to about the 37-yard line. George Scarpolato from his tackle position.
The Derby defense hasn't really been out on the football field a very long time today. And I think right now what Coach Lisi is looking for is to establish a running attack and to try and get a couple first downs and to make his football team really work at it. To make them go up and play solid football and to get themselves a little bit of momentum on some running.
Football at the Ansonia 38, split backs for the Chargers. On the option, that is Coppola. A fumble, and Coppola falls on the football. Pitched out to Robinson. He fumbled the football, and Coppola alertly fell on it.
Here we go, Jeffrey coming outside. Now, Chernovitz has the lead back on it. The pitch was right in the hands of Robinson. He just did not hold it. Jeffrey Coppola right there scrambling to cover the football. They lose about 5.5 to 6 yards, creating a third and very long for them. As you see, a lot of the Charger fans now trying to get this football team alive. They're not used to being down here at Jarvis Field. And they are right now playing from behind with only 3:58 left to go in that second quarter.
3rd and 12 for the Chargers. They have the football at their 32, an obvious passing situation. The Raiders know that too. Coppola under a rush. Incomplete. McNamara defended by 2 of the Raiders. Bogart along with Shea from his linebacker position.
Watch right here as Jeffrey throws into coverage. Both Shea and Bogart have good coverage on McNamara as he tries to turn in. Ball is knocked up, but McNamara really had no chance to catch that football. Not a really well-selected throw by Jeff Coppola. And it puts them into 4th down territory again, and Derby is going to have very good field position on the exchange.
Well, Ahern is called on again to get off a fine punt. What a beautiful punt. A beautiful floater by Ahern. It's fumbled on the other end. A wild scramble for the football. It's retained by the Raiders.
Ball was knocked out of bounds that time on that kick, but that was another skyrocket that he got off that time. And when Mr. Ahern hits the football, he can punt with the best of them.
We have seen great punting for both teams. Fossey for the Raiders, Ahern for the Chargers. A big factor in any football game, the kicking game. So the Raiders get the football back after the Ahern punt. They set up shop at their 23-yard line, and scoreboard clock showing under 4 minutes to go here in the first half. Split backs for the Raiders. That is Abel in motion, and the give is Orchano tripped up at the line of scrimmage, but Mark falls forward for an additional couple of yards.
Derby needs 1 first down here to keep possession of the football, to keep it out of the hands of Ansonia. As you see Orchano coming off tackle here. Again, look at Lewis with that block as he leads Orchano up the field, and both of these kids are doing an outstanding job of blocking for each other.
2nd down play for the Raiders, split backs. In motion, that is Abel. The give again inside, that is Orchano. Gets close to the 30-yard line before it's stopped there by the Chargers. Rob Vieira in on the tackle for the Ansonia Chargers, along with Craig Zielinski. 3rd down play coming up for the Raiders. They have a 3rd and 4, football at the Derby 30-yard line.
With the running attack of Derby, it's been a very quick first half since they've controlled the football.
Chargers digging in on the 3rd down play. The quarterback is Searles. Searles hands off to the tailback, and I think he has it. Lewis picks up the first down up to the 35 before he's dragged down by Fascini.
Here's the sprint draw. See Searles hand the ball off to Lewis. Orchano right there kicking out again, blocking for Jimmy Lewis, and Lewis gets the first down. Good job on the tackle by Ansonia, but not before Jimmy Lewis is able to pick up a very big first down. It gives them now excellent field position, and they can pretty much control the clock for the remainder of this first half.
Football at the 35-yard line, and more importantly for the Raiders, a first down. I formation. The give to Jimmy Lewis again. Lewis for 2 yards this time. And a 2nd and 8 will be coming up for the Red Raiders. Craig Zielinski in on the stop for the Ansonia Chargers from his monster back position.
I'd be very surprised if Derby puts the football up here. I think they would be happy controlling the ball and running the clock out with either first downs or creating the running attack to make that clock move. I don't think Coach DeCenzo wants to give Ansonia the ball back with that kind of throwing attack.
2nd down play, split backs. Orchano gets the call this time, and he brings the football close to the 40-yard line, and the 3rd down will be coming up. The Raiders will have a 3rd and 6. Eric Jezelitis on the tackle for Ansonia.
And I'm a little bit surprised that Ansonia does not use a timeout right here to save some of that time for their offense.
Well, third down coming up for the Raiders, and we are under a minute to go here in the first half at Jarvis Field in Ansonia. Derby leads 7-0. The give to the tailback, and now I think you're going to see
There's the timeout. I thought they would have used one with the third down. They'll use one here, and it'll give them about 30 seconds on the exchange. They should have around 30 seconds, which is enough time we've seen with Jeff Coppola. Here we see the sprint draw, but that time Ansonia read it extremely well. No place for Jimmy Lewis to go. As I felt, and I think Ansonia felt the same way, Derby was not going to put the football up. They want to run the clock out. I'll be very happy to win at halftime 7-0 here. And on the exchange, Ansonia will probably have 30 seconds left to move the football.
That was Brecklin making the tackles on the last play for the Chargers, and a fourth down play coming up. Football is marked at the 40-yard line, where the Raiders' own 40-yard line. And a fourth down play coming up as the silent crowd on the Ansonia side of the field here at Jarvis Field. 44 seconds showing on our scoreboard clock, but the official time is kept here in Ansonia on the field. Fossey will do the punting, standing inside his 30-yard line. And he gets off another fine punt. This has pinned Ansonia back all day long. That's McNamara on the return. He's not going to get anywhere. A whole host of Raiders combine on Terry McNamara, and Chargers will set up shop at their own 25-yard line with about 30 seconds left to go here in the first half.
Great coverage that time by the Derby specialty team, especially Ronnie Sheehy. Right down, contained McNamara, gave him no place to go. And Ansonia is going to take a timeout right now with 29 seconds left to go. They are going to try and get something positive here for the remaining 29 seconds, and I think you're going to see Ansonia go put the ball up and attempt to get something in the end zone.
Now, don't forget for our viewers, once again coming up in the second half of play, our high school football hero salute coming up sometime in the second half. And this is our Valley Cablevision High School football game of the week. And also at halftime, a reminder, the coach, KC 101, George DeMayo, with he's Buddy's halftime guest.
Coach DeMayo has seen about 76 high school football teams so far this year, and we'll talk a little bit about who he feels are the stronger teams in Connecticut.
Well, the Chargers approach the line of scrimmage, and obviously with the timeout call before Derby's punt, they want to fill the air with footballs. Coppola rolls right, throws far sidelines, in and out of McNamara's hands, and all over McNamara, covering him step for step is Sheehy.
And right behind Sheehy was Tommy Abel. You'll see the throw here to McNamara. Sheehy is in front. They're doubling him. And right behind him is number 81. There's Sheehy right there, 31. And right behind, you'll see in your picture there is Tommy Abel. So they're not going to give too much. They're not going to allow the deep receivers for Ansonia to get behind him right now in this football game.
Well, this time to the near side of the field. Not in your picture yet. Both Ahern and McNamara are split. And a great rush on Coppola. Coppola under a rush, still scrambling with the football, and finally dragged down on the near sidelines out of bounds. It was Tony Kaprinsky for the Derby Red Raiders, hounding Coppola.
Watch now Jeffrey Coppola sidestep. He sidesteps one right here. Fossey, he comes out, and he tries to get around now, but he's not going to get around Tony Kaprinsky, who drags him out of bounds. Good job containing by Derby. And Jeffrey did not really have time, as he wanted to go deep down the middle. He did not have time to get the ball off.
Robinson, you just saw Lisa Robinson checking into the football lineup for Ansonia, into the backfield, as Coach Bob Lisi sends in a play. 13 seconds showing on our scoreboard clock. 3rd and 10. Ansonia has to go about 75 for a score. A draw to Robinson. He is not going anywhere. Dan Shea, along with Gabinelli on the stop for the Raiders, and that ought to do it for the first half of play. That is our end of our first half of play here at Jarvis Field in Ansonia. Our score is Derby 7, Ansonia nothing. We'll be back with the halftime activities right after.
Just look at all the exciting things happening. shopping center, it's your entertainment center.
Hi, I'm Mike Healy from Healy Ford, Main Street, Ansonia. We're having our annual used car closeout sale.
Hey, Mike, look at these used 1985 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supremes, each price to sell at $99.95.
Hey, Sam, look at these used 1985 Dodge Aries four-door sedans, price to sell at $75.95.
Healy Ford offers the lowest interest rates anywhere, up to 48 months to pay.
That's Healy Ford Subaru, Main Street, Ansonia, Route 34, Derby.
Let Realty World Satani Associates take you through their Naugatuck. You'll be thrilled to discover the kind of lifestyle your dollars can buy. Excellent schools, low taxes, new industry, safe neighborhoods. With the help of Satani's trained realtors, you can own a lovely home or condominium in Naugatuck for the price of renting an apartment. Call now and let Realty World Satani Associates show you their Naugatuck.
Southern Connecticut State University brings you the coach of the men's gymnastic team at the 1984 Olympics.
I'm A.B. Grosswald, gymnastics coach at Southern, and I know what it takes to be a winner. Desire, hard work, and an environment dedicated to achievement. You need the same things to succeed in life. And if you have the desire and are willing to work hard, Southern has a learning environment. Southern puts quality higher education within your reach. So if you want to be a winner, think of Southern as a direction.
squad are Michelle Henderson, Sharon Fiducia, Karen DeMeo, Chris Tatro, Colleen Craddy, Linda Sanatini. Also on the squad, the underclassmen, Deanne D'Angelo, Christine Beto, Renee Posnick, Ann Pellizzari, Kelly Pereira, Ida Viana, Kelly Blitz, Kristen Gilbert, Kim Schindler, Christine Johansson, Laura Paolucci. The alternates are Sheila Butler and Laurie Garno. The mascot is Megan Johansson, and the advisor is Mrs. Pat Sturgis. And now, the Derby High School hockey game.
West Haven beat them. They just sit downstairs. West Haven beat them in 7 Elks is zip.
Ed McCarthy beat the Elks from the West Haven.
Jarvis Field in Ansonia is Derby 7 and Ansonia nothing. And down on the field, Buddy Chernovitz has a special halftime guest, the coach, George DeMayo of KC 101 FM.
Thanks, Ed. We're down here at halftime with George DeMayo, KC 101, the coach. George, how did you get the nickname The Coach?
But everybody asked me that when I went for my initial tape, an interview, okay? I had a jacket on that said Coach George from a bitty basketball team that I coach, and I still coach. And they said, boy, if you get the job the way you did the sports, we're going to call you The Coach. And thus the name Coach has stuck with me ever since. Matter of fact, I forget my own name sometimes.
It's a long way from Notre Dame, huh?
We go back a long way, don't we?
A few years.
Yeah.
George, how about KC 101 and their interest in high school football, high school athletics? How did that come about?
Well, Bud, basically, here's what happened. A couple of years ago, they said to me, George, we want you to do something local. And we don't care if you get as local as the high school sports. And it's something that I've always wanted to do because I played high school sports, as you know, and I don't think we got the coverage that we deserved on the media with the radio. So I went out and started covering. I said, what about high school football? And we started with football, and I loved, ever since then, they've let me pick out a game no matter what. In fact, they love high school sports. I've got the general manager, our general manager, Hillbilly Howard, involved in high school sports, and Dr. Chris, they all love sports now. High school sports, because I really think the high school kids deserve this kind of coverage.
We agree here, too, at VC. George, you've seen about 86 football teams so far. How do you rate them if you had to rate 1 through 5 of the best teams in the state, regardless of class?
Okay, now I tell you something. Let's take the class and throw it out, because I saw an awesome Middletown team just last night, and I think Middletown could be the #1 team in the state. Certainly, I would love to see an Ansonia-Middletown game. I think Ansonia is one of the best teams I've seen. Don't count out the Red Raiders. I mean, they haven't allowed a point in 10 quarters. They're awesome. Bethel from the WCC, from the Fairfield County. Trumbull, the Golden Eagles are great. I've seen Wilton. I've been up to New Canaan. Out in the Naugatuck Valley, the Greyhounds may have something to say about who makes the playoffs. And out in the shoreline, you can't count hand out, because although they were beaten, they have a nice team too. From the District League, let's not forget the Green Dragons from Handon. Ron Carbone has an awesome team. This kid, Craig Murray, just a sophomore, going to be an awesome ball player. So, I mean, you know, I cover a lot of conferences, 86 schools, so been there. I've seen them all.
One question about Hillhouse and Hamden next week. What about Hillhouse? Is it a sleeping football team, or are they as good as they've been? They're 6-0 right now. Are they that good?
Yeah, they are that good, and they've got a couple of receivers that are going to go up and get the football for you, too. If I have a preference in the game, I don't like to predict football games. I'm not in that business. But if I had to pick the two teams when they play next week, I'm going with the Green Dragons. I think they're bigger, and with their running game, it just might be too much for the academics.
Coach, appreciate the time stopping by. I hope that we can get together again, but we go back a long way, and it's a pleasure to have you here.
Pleasure to be here, buddy, and I'll tell you, this is going to be some football game today.
I think so. Edward, take it away from down here at halftime.
That was Buddy Chernovitz's interview with the coach, George DeMayo of KC 101 FM. On the field here at halftime. Once again, our halftime score, it's a surprise, Derby 7, Ansonia nothing. We'll be right back with the
This is Gene Okerlund. Advanced Thursday night, November the 7th, will be a night to remember when the World Wrestling Federation presents the Wrestling Classic. For the first time ever, the top stars in a professional wrestling battle elimination tournament. And a special added attraction will feature World Heavyweight Champion Hulk Hogan against Rowdy Piper. Thursday, November the 7th. Mark your calendars. Available only on this pay-per-view cable system.
Call Valley Cable today and sign up for this special wrestling extravaganza. Ansonia contenders, expert commentary, Derby candidates, the Evening Sentinel, Seymour Selectmen, telephone interviews, Shelton contestants, field reports, Oxford opponents, WVCV News. Experience Election 85 exclusively on WVCV Channel 10B.
Service Auto Parts means service. And what is service? It's a selection of top-name automotive products like Monroe and Walker. It's inventory with a warehouse full of parts ready when you need them. It's price. They buy low so you can too. And most of all, it's a knowledgeable staff ready to advise and help you. Selection, inventory, price, and knowledge, it all adds up to service. The reason Service Auto Parts has the best reputation of any parts store. Expect it and get it from Service Auto Parts.
He knows jewelry is something special, and he bought it at Royal Jewelers, where something special is offered every step of the way. Something special in quality and selection, from diamonds to gold to something special in service. Andrew Klein repairs, engraves, or designs jewelry for you. Royal Jewelers offers something special from now through Father's Day. Something special in jewelers. Royal Jewelers, Shelton Square Shopping Center in Shelton.
Hi, I'm Mike Healy from Healy Ford, Main Street, Ansonia. We're having our annual used car closeout sale.
Hey, Mike, look at these used 1985 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supremes, each price to sell at $99.95.
Hey, Sam, look at these used 1985 Dodge Aries four-door sedans, price to sell at $75.95.
Healy Ford offers the lowest interest rates anywhere, up to 48 months to pay.
That's Healy Ford Subaru, Main Street, Ansonia, Route 34, Derby.
And the Derby Red Raiders set to kick off the football. They do. That's Bogart kicking off. On the other end, that is McNamara with the football. McNamara dragged down at about his own 30-yard line. And on your screen now, let's go over and show you some of the most important stats of the first half. Buddy?
It's obvious that Ansonia has done very little offensively. 9 yards rushing. Derby, we said their rushing was very important, 93 yards for the Derby Red Raiders. They have not thrown very much, but they're successful 2 for 2. Ansonia has to get some offense going. Derby, I think, has gone essentially according to their game plan, Coach DeCenzo's game plan.
First down for the Chargers at their 30-yard line to start this third quarter of action. That is Chernovitz getting the handoff from Coppola and going nowhere. Tony Kaprinski led the charge for the Raiders.
Right here, bang ahead by Chernovitz, but Kaprinski right there, Fossey, and then coming in also Gabrinelli. Great defensive charge. Ansonia is not able to get much yardage on that quick fullback hitter inside with Joe Chernovitz, and Robinson has been cut off also as they go to a single back offense now with 2nd and long.
Second down play coming up. Chernovitz is the lone setback. Fake inside to Chernovitz to throw over the middle to tight end Vieira. Vieira to the 37-yard line.
Watch right here, the inside fake to Chernovitz and then the quick throw to Vieira. He's been open all day, whether it's been Vieira or Shortell, and they've been able to get good yardage on that tight end. Quick throw to the tight end, as Derby has been double covering a lot on the outside, and that frees up that tight end inside.
3rd and 3 for Ansonia. They have the football at their 37. Derby leads 7-0. Scoring in the opening minute of play in the second quarter of play was a Mark Searles to Mark Gruttadoria pass of about 3 yards over the middle, and Bogart tacked on the extra point. 3rd down for Ansonia. Single back, and Coppola is whacked, and a flag is dropped as pass was completed to one of his linemen.
They're going to call that an illegal receiver, as number 64, David Hughes, caught the ball, but the ball was knocked out of the hands of Jeff Coppola. Watch right here. So he goes to throw, the ball is knocked out of his hands. He didn't really throw it. Tough call. It should be called a fumble, but they're going to call it an illegal receiver, and that is going to create a loss of down situation. And while we're talking about Jeffrey, it's an interesting thing. We talk about backyard rivalry here, but Jeff Coppola and number 55 for Derby, Jason Zadix, are cousins, first cousins, and they are playing against each other. And that continues this rivalry that has occurred here for a long time between the Ansonia Chargers and the Derby Red Raiders. First cousins on opposite sides.
And that penalty backs up the Chargers inside their 20-yard line. And it's also a loss of down, so it's a punting situation, and Ahern has been under pressure all game long. He's responded beautifully, though, with some booming punts. So Ansonia, their first drive of the second half. It looks like an instant replay of the first half.
Great defensive series for the Derby Red Raiders, as they're going to force Ansonia kicking almost out of his end zone.
Ahern, another fine punt that I don't believe is going to be returned at all. It rolls into Derby territory, rolls dead at the 45 of the Raiders. So the Raiders will put the football in play, their first possession of the second half. And thus far, Coach Charlie DeCenzo, the Derby Red Raiders game plan has been worked to perfection.
Run, 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 and then run again.
And shorten the length of the football game, as Coach DeCenzo said in the pregame.
Shorten that football field. They only have to go 55 yards to get it into the end zone. Good field position. Specialties have played extremely well for the Derby Red Raiders.
High formation for the Raiders. That is Abel in motion. Redadori out to the left side. Searles on the handoff, straight ahead. Nothing fancy. That's to Lewis. Lewis gets to midfield before he's wrapped up by Fascini from his linebacker position.
Again, the sprint draw. Kick out by Orchano. That time on number 32, Aaron Breckland. 5-yard advancement by Jimmy Lewis. They've been doing running the sprint draw and the straight ahead dive all afternoon.
Chernovitz checks into the Ansonia defensive linebacking position. He replaces Fascini. Second down play. Again, a repeat. Lewis this time finds it going a little rougher. Gets 2 on the play. 4 is wrapped up by Henry from his tackle position. And a 3rd and 4 facing Coach Charlie DeCenzo. Football marked at the Ansonia 48-yard line. And
the boss is here. The boss is here.
Was that John DeGarmo? I believe it was. Enjoying the Valley High School football game of the week. 3rd down play for the Raiders. In motion, that is Abel. The quarterback is Searles, gives to Archano. Close to the yardage needed for the first down. From up here where we sit in the press box, it appears to be short by about a foot.
Tough call right here. What would you do at home? 4th, less than a yard on Ansonia's 45. Coach DeCenzo is sending on his punting unit. We cannot overstate the importance of field position, but he has 7, and he's going to force Ansonia to go the length of the football field if they want to tie the game up.
Bossy will be doing the punting.
And there we have the boss of Ansonia,
Mayor Bill Mena. Bossy gets the snap from center and gets the punt off, and once again an excellent punt. McNamara, fair catch. And Terry falls down at about the 15-yard line, and once again Derby has Ansonia backed up. Football marked at the 14-yard line, and with the break in the action and Derby leading 7-0, let's break for these messages.
It's new car introduction time, but you'd never know it by the prices being offered at Curtis Ryan Lincoln Mercury. The beautiful new 1986 models are on display now, but the big news is the tremendous factory discounts. They range from free automatic transmission, power steering, AM/FM stereo on the all-new Mercury Lynx, to special discounts on the Marquis Brougham and the Mercury Cougar. Remember, these special factory discounts are in addition to the famous Curtis Ryan volume discounts. The all-new 1986 Mercurys at Curtis Ryan Lincoln Mercury.
Good morning. Derby Savings Bank has done it again. They've made banking convenient for everyone. If you can't seem to find the time to get to the bank, Derby Savings now has Sunrise Banking. Every Thursday and Friday morning at 7 o'clock, their friendly professional staff is wide awake and ready to help you get a head start on the day. They'll even treat you to fresh brewed coffee and delicious donuts. So get your morning off to a great start at Derby Savings Bank.
Martha Colburn reporting live from Allen's Plumbing Supply, Route 67, Seymour.
And here he is, John Allen, with another important plumbing announcement.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm here to announce wholesale to the public prices, cash and carry, on plumbing, heating, and well supplies, kitchen and bathroom cabinetry. And you can do it yourself.
Save big at Allen's Plumbing Supply of Seymour.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
The way you blew into town and looked all around, well, I knew right then that you were new. You looked so fine and you cut such a fine line that I knew what I had to do. So I'm keeping an eye on you. Keeping an eye on
There's a new truck on the road. It's called Comanche. It's built by Jeep. It's worth a look.
So I'm keeping an eye on you.
First down play for Ansonia. They have it at their 14-yard line. Wishbone for the Chargers. There's the give to Chernovich, running out of the left halfback spot. Chernovich grinds his way close to the 20-yard line.
Ansonia has not been able to get themselves untracked offensively. They have not been able to create any momentum, and right now I think Bobby Lisi wants more than anything else to get a few first downs. They only had 2 in the first half. It's not a typical Ansonia offensive show, and they need to get some momentum, and that Wishbone may do it for them.
Wishbone again. This is Robinson this time off the other side. A fumble on the play and a scramble for the football, and the Raiders have recovered it. Coming up with the loose football.
Watch right here now, inside the first fake, and then Robinson right here, and the ball's going to be popped right out there, knocked out of his hands. It's picked up and then grabbed by number 84 of Derby, and he almost gets into the end zone. That's Ron Benito, and that's a great big turnover for the Derby Red Raiders. As we see, Mr. Robinson is still down. He was hit pretty good as Coach Lisi is out there with him. And it is going to be a key play in this football game as we look back. The turnover, the first key turnover of the football game was 7 minutes and 11 seconds left to go here in this third quarter.
And in the mark of good sportsmanship, Coach Charlie DeCenzo, the best of friends with Coach Bob Lisi of Ansonia, came over to find out the condition of Rob Robinson. You see him walking off under his own power now in your picture, along with trainer and physical therapist Rich DeRazio and the doctor also. So the Raiders have the football after the fumble recovery by Benito. And they have it at the Ansonia 14-yard line. High formation for the Raiders in motion. Abel, Searles wants to throw on first down. Look, rolling out to the left side under a rush, throws out of bounds. His receivers were covered and Searles just threw the football away.
He did a nice job on getting outside the first rush. You'll see here right here as Mark Searles breaks outside. The fake right here gets him outside, but he does not have anybody to throw to. You see right there, number 53, Jesolitis, as he gets outside of him, but he's not getting outside of the corner. He threw the ball away. Good play by Mark Searles, not risking the interception. He still keeps the ball at the 14, and they still have 3 downs to get him into the end zone.
So the Raiders set up with Sakiu split wide to the left side, I formation. Handoff to Lewis. Lewis is going nowhere. Stacked up at the line of scrimmage, Al Jesolitis.
Great job by Jesolitis. Sprint draw. Here's Searles giving the ball off. Orchano kicks out, but Jesolitis right on the tackle. Inside seam with Caruso there. No place to go. Think about 4th down and possible field goal. Pretty good kicker. 3 points right here would be just as good as a touchdown, I think, for Derby. Nothing right here is going to be a great big momentum boost for the Ansonia Chargers.
Out to the left side goes Greta Doria. In a slot to the right side is Abel. Now he goes in motion. Split backs for the Raiders on the 3rd down play. Searles wants to throw the football. Looks down into the end zone. Has Abel out there. It is incomplete in the far corner of the end zone. Defended by McNamara for Ansonia, along with Ahern.
Tommy Abel comes in motion across the formation. He just runs a streak. You'll see him right at the top, down the side. Searles throws the ball up right at the corner of the end zone, but right there is Terry McNamara, and a good job covering. Ball just out of his hands, and it creates a 4th down, and we're going to see right here if we do get a possible try for a field goal from the 14-yard line.
Checking into the Derby huddle, and he'll be going at one of the wide receiver positions is Pete Sakiu. Sakiu splits out wide to the right side, Abel wide to the left. Single setback for the Raiders. In motion, that is Lewis. Searles back to throw, looking to set up a screen, sets it up. That is Orchano being tripped up, and the Chargers will take over on downs.
I thought Louis Fascini had the interception. Let's see here. Ball is thrown out to Orchano, and as the ball is thrown, number 41 for Ansonia is right there. I think he's got the ball, and then Orchano takes the ball away from him. Fascini had it. Orchano took it back, but it's still Ansonia's football. But Fascini had himself a lot of white lines and green grass if he held on to it.
Well, the Chargers take over on downs.
Big defensive stand right here. We're going to talk about it at the end of the game. That's a turning point.
Capola throws out. Let's see if it's picked off. It is. The Raiders have picked off the pass. Bogart.
John Bogart with his second interception. The ball is thrown. Bogart, I think, is the only one who sees it. Is inside. You get good pressure. Right there, he takes it away from McNamara as the ball was not really well thrown by Jeffrey Coppola, and the Derby Red Raiders are right back knocking on the door at the 32-yard line.
Back and forth we go, and that Ansonia defense was just called upon moments ago to stop the Raiders inside the Ansonia 15. Now the Raiders have the football back on the turnover at the 32. Lewis tripped up in the backfield. Well, at least the defense is aroused. That's Al Jezelitis.
Jezelitis breaks the seam again right here, and Lewis has no place to go. Jezelitis is right on his back. Good tackle, loss, and the Derby Red Raiders are now not able to move that football straight ahead as they did in the first half. Ansonia's made a couple substitutions into that defensive group, but they are fired up, and they are now fighting for their lives with 4:45 left to go here in this third quarter.
Second down play. That is Lewis going forward for 5 yards off the left side as Lewis gets down to the 30-yard line or thereabouts. 31 where the football is being spotted. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 9 for the Raiders. Time is running down here. A little over 4 minutes to go in the third quarter play. Derby 7, Ansonia nothing.
Again, we're in 4-down territory for Derby, so they don't have to make it all in this one third down play. They have the opportunity now to be selective as they're going to take a timeout and talk over the play that was brought in by Mark Gretadoria.
And with the timeout, an excellent chance to go to our high school football hero salute. WVCV Sports proudly presents High School Hero Salute. Ansonia High School has had many great running backs down through the years, and John Andrusco ranks among them. Andrusco, a bruising fullback, played for the Ansonia Lavender, as they were known then, under Coach Charles J. Jarvis in the early 50s. This durable player missed only 1 game in 3 varsity years, and for his outstanding efforts was named to the All-State team in 1952. John continued his playing career at the Manulus School, West Point, and Tulsa University, playing under such notable coaches as Tom Cahill, Earl Blake, and Bobby Dobbs. These days, John Andrusco makes his residence in Scottsdale, Arizona, while working as a senior account analyst for Tandem Computers Incorporated of Phoenix. John Andrusco, WVCV Sports salutes you. We're still in the break here, the Raiders having called a timeout. Buddy, I think one of the stories of this football game is the Raiders get set for a 3rd and 9 at the Ansonia 31-yard line. The turnover is a definite factor in this football game. Coppola having a rough go of it here today at Jarvis Field.
Tough day for Jeffrey. He has not thrown the ball very well. His receivers, though, have been covered by Derby. They have doubled McNamara. They have not let them have the easy throw. Bogart has done a great job getting out and covering McNamara and Ahern on the motion, and they haven't given them a situation where they've had an easy throw. Their running attack has really been shut down. Chernovitz and Robinson have done little to nothing. Robinson has 2 turnovers, 2 fumbles. With Coppola's interceptions, they have backed themselves up into a corner, and their defense really has kept them in the football game. Their defense is playing very inspired football. They stopped them on the 14. They're now being asked to stop them inside the 35-yard line, and here we go to see what this Charger defense could do.
3rd down play. In motion goes Lewis, throwing downfield. That's Searles. He has a receiver out there. It is up for grabs. And a flag is dropped.
Oh, a bullet.
Tom Abel was the intended receiver, and a flag dropped.
You call it at home. You call it at home. I don't think that this defensive player, McNamara, could do any more. He turns, goes, there's the ball. He goes right up, looking back for the football. There's no way that's interference. God, please have mercy on that, referees. There is no interference there. That was a great play by number 10, Terry McNamara. And that is a big play, obviously, right here as it creates a 1st down. And lucky that guy's on the other side of the field. Because if he was on the Ansonia side, he'd be ducking bullets.
Well, with the mark-off from the line of scrimmage, the football on a 1st down for the Raiders at the 16-yard line. Split backs for the Raiders. They lead 7-0. 3rd quarter action from here at Jarvis Field. Orchano goes forward for a little bit of extra effort after getting stopped initially at the line of scrimmage. Brecklin initially had a piece of her channel, but Mark fell forward for 2 additional yards.
There's a war down there straight ahead. The offensive and defensive linemen are whacking each other pretty good, and it is really a war. Every yard that Derby gains offensively is a grudging yard given up by the Ansonia Charger defense.
High formation for the Raiders. Jimmy Lewis this time. Lewis gets down to the 10-yard line. Craig Zielinski from the monster back position made the stop on Lewis. The Raiders now have a 3rd and 5. Football marked just inside the Ansonia 10-yard line.
Touchdown right here would make the game extremely interesting, considering the fact that the Chargers have not moved the ball extremely well. Derby's played outstanding defense. To come back from a 14-point deficit in the 4th quarter, it's going to be an interesting 4th quarter.
Split backs. Again, the handoff.
You fumble the ball.
A fumble on the play. The Chargers have come up with the football.
There is a boost right there. Watch right here as he breaks off tackle. Marciano off tackle, and he is going to get popped real good right here. He is bang right there, my number 65 for the Ansonia Chargers.
Zielinski.
And that's Craig Zielinski causing the turnover. The sign of a great defense now. They've twice been asked to keep Derby out of the end zone, and they have done it. Great defensive stand as the ball now lays on the 5-yard line, and the defense has said now to the offense, hey, we've done it twice. They've gotten the offense now at least a little bit of momentum. Let's see what Jeff Coppola can do.
Well, they're running out of the wishbone and getting 2 yards as Chernovitz off the right side. As I would say at this point, buddy, it's Bob Lisi would just be happy with a 1st down, a couple of 1st downs to get it out into some better field position for Ansonia.
I would agree with you. He's backed up. There's a limited play selection right here. He's had a number of turnovers, so he's got to be concerned about what his offense can do, and he cannot afford to give the ball over to Derby right now.
Well, they're working out of an I formation. Both McNamara and Ahern are in the football game to the left side. Pressure on Coppola as again he throws the football, and again it's almost picked off by Bogart, intended for Ahern.
John Bogart is my player of the game right now. He has been all over McNamara and Ahern every time. Coppola rolls out, and he usually finds that McNamara and Ahern are wide open. Right here, Bogart is right there. He almost comes up with another turnover, and he's got a leg cramp, and that's about the only thing that's happened to John today that hasn't been positive. He's playing a great football game, and when Coach DeCenzo said to him, you're going to cover McNamara and Ahern like a blanket, this kid is doing it just like a blanket.
One of the things I talked about to assistant coach John DeFrancesco before the game and going over again the starting lineups for Derby, we talked about the linebacking core for the Raiders. He told me that in passing situations, any formation other than the wishbone, that Bogart was going to be in there for the Raiders. Sobin would be in there against the wishbone for the Chargers, Bogart against all other formations. And you see from today's game, the Chargers have not gone to that wishbone that often. And even when they're in the wishbone a couple of plays ago, Bogart is in the football game. That particular time, of course, it was a passing situation. And not in your picture, but Bogart just walked off the field under his own power. Looks to be all right, and he should be back in this football game. 3rd down play, 3rd and 9. Ansonia has it at their 6-yard line. They're backed up in I formation in another passing situation. Coppola throws out a screen. That is Rob Vieira with the football. Vieira out almost to the 10-yard line before he's stuck there. Looked to be Shee.
Eddie, you mentioned the tight end screen before. Coppola goes back and throws this play. It's a big play in Ansonia's offense, and it looks right here that Rob Vieira is going to make a cut right here and get himself a 1st down. Derby does a great job getting back and containing him, keeping him about a yard short. Sheehy with a great tackle, sets up a 4th down and about 3, and it's an obvious punting situation for the Ansonia Chargers. Derby will get the ball back in pretty decent field position again, and they're going to be knocking at the door. How long before they get in again is questionable. The Chargers have played great defense.
Ahern again is called upon to do the punting and gets off a great punt, and it rolls dead at the 37-yard line of Ansonia, where the Derby Red Raiders will set up shop.
Derby has had the ball at the 14, the 32, and now the 37-yard line of Ansonia in their last 3 possessions of this 3rd period. They again are poised The Charger defense has been equal to the task, and they're going to have to do it again. They cannot afford right now with 40 seconds left to give up another score.
Split backs for the Derby Red Raiders. They have the football again. Excellent field position. That's been the story of the game. Inside handoff to Lewis, and Jim finds his way down to the 35-yard line. Ed Henry from his tackle position for the Chargers on the tackle. We've got about 25 seconds, the clock ticking down here in the third quarter.
And I think, if I'm not wrong, that's 13 quarters that the Derby defense has gone without giving up a score. Since the second quarter in the Lyman Hall football game. We saw them last week shut out Sheehan.
And the previous
week before,
week,
North Haven. And that defense for 13 quarters has not allowed a point.
And we have played 3 quarters here at Jarvis Field in Ansonia. And entering the fourth quarter, our score, Derby 7, Ansonia nothing.
I could fit this pot in here. Oh, well, that's what I get for not buying my cabinets at Housatonic Lumber. So don't you be fooled by ads that say cabinets at warehouse prices, because it doesn't mean a thing if your kitchen isn't designed properly. Housatonic Lumber offers free design service by experts and discounts on brand names such as Marilat at 40% off. So go to Housatonic Lumber. You'll be glad you did.
It's fall, and that means it's football season. While you're out there showing your spirit, East Village Liquors is showing theirs. They're ready to help you plan your post-game celebration with a wide variety of beer, wine, and liquor. Their friendly and knowledgeable salespeople can suggest just the right things to make your party complete. East Village Liquor, easy to find in the White Hill Shopping Center in Shelton. Visit East Village Liquors today.
Seymour Trust has been a landmark in Seymour for 80 years. But you may have noticed Seymour Trust has grown. Our new addition is there for you in order to fill your banking needs more efficiently. There's a complete range of financial services at Seymour Trust, handling commercial as well as personal banking in both the Main Street office and the convenient expanded Oxford branch. For all your banking needs, Seymour Trust, your hometown independent full-service bank. Member FDIC.
You want it, we've got it, and you'll get it all this Super Fall. The big acts, the big action, the sass, the class, the jazz, pizzazz, smiles, and style. Power-packed hits, power-hitting stars. Bigger than ever big events. Get it all from the only place that's bringing it all home.
Mark Searles is the quarterback. On the second down play to start the fourth quarter of play, a flag is dropped, and that is Orchano, the slippery runner. Quick runner Orchano sliding to the 29-yard line.
We're going to have a motion penalty on Tommy Abel. He went forward. As he came in motion, he went forward before the ball was snapped. Watch right here. Tommy Abel starts in motion from the top of your picture. Here he comes. Watch him break. He's going forward before the snap of the ball, and we've got 5-yard procedure penalty. And also we've got number 79 for Derby. A little bit of a limp on Tony Kaprinsky, and he is down also. Possible leg cramp as they elevate that leg, and that's one of the things when you have a warm day this late in the year that can affect football players. The leg cramps, the stiffening of the legs because of the heat, and possibly not taking enough fluid.
There's Coach DeCenzo coming into your picture, and just in front of him is assistant coach DeFrancisco. And I see a smile on...
Everybody seems to be very happy and enjoying it, except for Tony Kaprinsky, who is in a little bit of pain. If you've ever had a leg cramp, you know that they are tough.
And also in your picture, Carmen DeCenzo, Coach DeCenzo's brother, as they work on Mr. Kaprinsky's problem out there, but it doesn't appear to be too serious because of the levity being displayed out there as we get a shot at two of our spectators here at this Ansonia Derby football game. Always a well-attended game as we look out here at the field, at Jarvis Field.
The red and the blue, as we look across the red shirts of the Derby Red Raiders supporters, and as we look beneath us, the blue of the Charger love you blue.
5 deep is standing behind each end zone here. And people I see as I look out to the baseball part of this complex here, Jarvis Field, people standing on the dugouts. So people all over, thousands of people for this annual Derby Ansonia get-together. Thus far, it's been Derby. And a second down play coming up for the Raiders as we are just into the fourth quarter play. Derby leads 7-0. The quarterback is Searles. He's done a fine job directing the attack all day. That is Lewis with some running room. Lewis to the 30-yard line and inside the 30 before he is stopped by Ahern.
Play that they run quite a bit. Searles and now Orchino kick out, and now a little bit of a cutback by Jimmy Lewis, and he gets into the secondary, and he gets very close to that first down yardage necessary for them to keep possession and to keep this drive going. Big third down play right here. It is 4-down territory for the Derby Red Raiders.
Third down play coming up for the Derby Red Raiders. They have it at the Ansonia 29-yard line. In motion, that is Abel. A fumble on the exchange from center to quarterback, and Searles falls on the football at the 32.
Searles does not get a handle on the football right here. He never got it. The snap bounces up into his chest. He does a great job covering the football. And right now, big, as again, I think it's Tony Kaprinski down with the leg cramps. Tough call right now for Coach DeCenzo. He's got a fourth and about 5.5 yards. He's on the 33-yard line. Punting into the end zone will pick him up a net of 13 yards. If he can punt the ball down inside the 15 or so, it might be a possibility for his offensive team. But it's a tough call right now. And thank God you and I are sitting up here, Edward, where we can only second guess and don't have to make the decision.
Those are my thoughts exactly. I was just going to say I am happy to be up here and not to be in Coach DeCenzo's position, and also for the Ansonia side of the field, Coach Bob Lisi, to make the decisions in this very important football game.
Derby has not really thrown the ball very well so far today, and to make 5 yards on a running play in a fourth down situation is going to be tough. So it is a tough call. Their throwing game has not been real great. The 2 completions, one on a screen pass, the second one on the throw in the end zone to Mark Raddoria, have been the basis of that throwing attack. And Coach DeCenzo has got to make a decision: throw, run, or punt. As Tom Fossey was the injured player, again with leg cramps, as he's being led off the field. Big loss for them because he is the punter, and that may help to make the decision for Coach DeCenzo.
So a fourth down coming up. Janik now goes out of the lineup as Kaprinski comes back in, and we'll try to find out who is replacing Fossey at the right guard position, as the Raiders have to do some scrambling around. All right, here we go, fourth down, and they are going for it on fourth down from the 32 of Ansonia.
That's a...
Well, they don't call it. It looked to be encroachment against Ansonia.
You violate the neutral zone in American League football here, according to the Federation. You're supposed to get an offside call. They don't get it, and they don't get the first down. The ball goes over to Ansonia as the Chargers, again, their defense is held. The Derby Red Raiders started on the 37-yard line. The defense gives the ball back to their offense on the 30-yard line.
And that was Lewis, by the way, who carried the football for the Raiders, short of the yardage needed for the first down. Ansonia takes over just outside their 30-yard line.
And we see right now Mr. Shea for the Derby Red Raiders, Danny Shea, calling a timeout. The Derby defense was not ready.
And
they only had 10 players on the field. A great timeout call for Danny Shea. Tough to play with 10.
This game is tough enough without playing, as you say, with 10 men. There's a shot of our huge throng of people here at Jarvis Field. That's the Ansonia side of the field. Obviously, you can tell by the color schemes and the big A's. So when we get back into action now, Ansonia will have a first down just at their 30-yard line. Derby leads 7-0, and a little bit over 10 minutes to go in this football game. The Chargers just unable to get on track all day long. Coppola having a rough day at the quarterback position. Coppola throws out to the left side. That is Ahern. He's got the pass. Midfield, far sideline, 40,
he's going to
30,
go the distance.
20, 10-yard line. Touchdown, Ansonia. Just like that, Ansonia has answered back.
Watch Watch right here, double coverage inside out, but Ahern turns and breaks the tackle, and there's nobody going to catch him right now. He has gone down the field. He's into the end zone. The last guy who had a shot for him was number 14, Chris King. He could not get him. Ansonia has taken a timeout. It's a 7-6 ball game. As we've seen all year, one of the Achilles heels of this Ansonia football team has been their ability to kick the extra point. Big decision again now for this time Ansonia, kicking for the tie, going for the two-point conversion for possibly the victory. With 10:02 left, most coaches would go for the tie because you have adequate amount of time to come back and score, but it'll be a tough call. The kicking game for the Chargers has not been what we could say automatic.
Well, that was a 70-yard, going back to the touchdown, a 70-yard pass play from Coppola, hooking up to Ahern. Ahern caught the football at midfield, eluded one of the Raiders, trying to make a tackle, and streaked down the left sidelines. Well, Ansonia appears to be going for the one. A little bit over 10 minutes to go. They're lining up for 1 point. Derby 7, Ansonia 6. Snap from center, a fake. McNamara rolls, throws into the end zone. It's short of the mark. McNamara threw out to Ahern. It was short of the mark, and Derby retains a slim 1-point lead.
I think we can now say that Coach Bob Lisi told us that he would, on the first score, use the extra point fake. Right here, fake kick by Chernovitz. McNamara rolls out, throws the ball short. No chance to make the catch by Ahern. But Coach Bob Lisi said that he would use that on his first touchdown. So that was a play that they had practiced during the week. Big play for them right now, 7-6. The Chargers have to get in the end zone again. Derby now can hold on, but against this Charger offense, it's going to be tough for them to hold on. That was a big play. It was a mistake by Derby, allowing him to turn the corner, and it's put the momentum back onto the blue side.
Well, Chernovitz will be kicking off for Ansonia. It's Derby 7, Ansonia 6. From Jarvis Field in Ansonia, and hold on, everyone, because we still got a lot of football game left. Chernovitz, line drive kick, going into the end zone, and as soon as it crosses that goal line, it's a dead ball. It'll come out to the 20-yard line, where the Raiders will put the football in play.
Derby right now has to get themselves a few first downs to take a little bit of the air out of the balloon that the Chargers have blown up here in this fourth quarter. They're back in the football game. One big play did it for them. We'll see how Derby reacts now. It was a big play. They had not given up that defensive mistake. So we'll see how the offense reacts here as they come out now with 10:02 left to go in this fourth quarter.
A first down for the Derby Red Raiders, split backs.
And we have the fans on the Charger side back in, and there is a mistake by Derby.
And they bumped, that was Searles bumping with Lewis, and the end result, the net result, a loss of one on the play.
It doesn't take very much to turn a football game around. Derby that time had a collision in the backfield. You'll see Searles right here. He will collide right there with number 40, Jimmy Lewis. And the timing was off on the play. 2nd and 12. They're out of their sequence. Ansonia now on defense can dictate a little bit as to what they want to do.
High formation. Searles gives it off again to the second back. That's Lewis from his tailback spot, but Lewis gets maybe to the 21-yard line before he's wrapped up by the inside of that Ansonia defensive line. Number 32, Emil Brecklin. Let's give him credit for the initial hit.
And I don't know if Coach DeCenzo has a 3rd down and 10 play in his offense backed up on his 20-yard line after the other team just went 70 yards in one big play. It's a tough call. You don't want to create a turnover here, but you can't be too conservative.
That is Abel going in motion on the 3rd down play. That's a pitch out to Lewis. Lewis right side. Lewis for about 6 to 7 yards, close to the yardage needed for the first down. Lewis crosses the 26 to about the 27. It's going to be short, and it will be a 4th and 3 coming up for the Raiders.
Excellent call by Coach DeCenzo. He almost got the first down. Jimmy Lewis broke in there. Again, they were put behind schedule, and that creates the problem. When you're 3rd and 10, it's tough to make 10 yards running against a good football team, and an Ansonia team is really almost impossible. So putting them off stride on that first mistake when the collision took place created the problem.
Fossey gets the punt off. It's fielded on the other end. That is McNamara at the 39-yard line. He is covered there by a couple of the Raiders. The fans on this side of the field upset, wanting a personal foul against the Raiders. Anyway, the Chargers will have the football back on the Fossey punt, and they'll have it in fine field position at their 39.
And the fans are into this game right now. They are back into the football game. The Chargers now will take over in the best field position that they've enjoyed in a long time.
First down play coming up for the Ansonia Chargers. I formation. Coppola is the quarterback. Gives to the tailback. That's Robinson straight ahead. Robinson barrels his way to midfield.
Watch the draw here. Robinson takes the ball, breaks a little bit to his left, gets up the field for very close to first down yardage, and first big play now as John Telke makes the tackle. First big running play that the Chargers have had all afternoon.
Second and short. The Chargers looking to get a first down. The going is rough, as this time Chernovitz takes the straight handoff. Might have picked up enough yardage, enough forward momentum for the first down.
I think he's going to get it for them. Bang ahead. Good defensive stand, though, by Derby, as he was met, really, for only about a yard gain. Joe Chernovitz inside. Not a great deal of yardage today, but that is tough yardage when you're asked to play against that Derby defense.
And checking into the Ansonia huddle now is the junior tight end, Mike Shortle. First and 10 for Ansonia. They have it at midfield. We have, according to the scoreboard clock, 6:51 remaining in this football game. Derby leads 7-6. Coppola unwinds, throws downfield, intended for McNamara, incomplete, double coverage by the Raiders. King along with Sheehy.
Great job by Chris King. He was the deep man, and he did his job. He allowed the ball to be thrown. He was there. The ball was overthrown. He did not risk any contact, and creates a second down play for the Chargers, but good coverage that time on the double, making sure that McNamara does not catch one for the first down.
Vieira checks into the Ansonia lineup at tight end. Coppola looking to throw on second down, throws underneath. It is in and out of Vieira's hands at the 42-yard line.
Excellent throw by Jeff Coppola. Vieira just could not hold onto it. He was bumped at the line of scrimmage by John Telke. You'll see here the ball is thrown. Telke is behind him, but he could not hold on to the ball, and it was a well-thrown football. Cannot fault Jeffrey Coppola on that.
Third down play coming up on the incompletion. 3rd and 10 for Ansonia. They have it at midfield. And they are down by a point to Derby in one of the most exciting Derby-Ansonia games ever played. And there have been many of them. Coppola rolls right, under a rush, gets the pass downfield, and it's caught. Ahern. Let's see if he was ruled in bounds.
That's a great catch by Pat Ahern. John Bogar was behind him, trailing. It's going to be close, and it is going to be a first down. Jashi right here getting outside of Jadek. Jadek has a piece of Jeffrey Coppola as he lets the ball go, and Jeff makes a great throw as Jadek was hanging on his arm for the first down. The 39-yard line, 6 minutes and 38 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. The Chargers are moving.
First down for Ansonia at the 39 of Derby. I formation. McNamara goes in motion. Coppola looking to screen, screens it out to Robinson, and Robinson cannot hold on to the football. And covering the football for Derby was Jadek, but it's ruled an incompleted pass.
Ansonia did a good job that time setting up the screen. They had out in front of that screen a number of blockers. Robinson could not hold on to the ball. David Hughes was setting up the screen, the offensive center for them, along with Zielinski, Jezelitis. A lot of room there. Robinson could not hold on to it.
Well, checking into the Ansonia huddle moments ago was Andre Holman. Ansonia now has wide receivers, 3 of them are Ahern, McNamara, Holman, single setback. Coppola under a rush, throws underneath, in and out of Shortle's hands at the 37-yard line.
Guess who made the hit? Watch here, my player of the game right now, number 45, John Bogart. The ball is thrown, and there is Bogart with the pop. Shortle could not hold on to it, and we set up a 3rd and 10. John Bogart has been all around that football all afternoon for the Derby Red Raiders.
Just an outstanding day for the 5'8", 170-pound senior John Bogart.
And he's had tough assignments all day.
On a blitz by the Raiders, Fossey brings Coppola down at the 46-yard line. Tom Fossey blitz from his backer position.
Watch Tommy Fossey now. He comes. Chernovitz picks the outside guy up, tries to get back to get Fossey, does not do it, and Fossey creates a big sack on Jeffrey Coppola. 4th down. Ansonia's going to have to punt the football there back near midfield. 6:03 left to go, and we got ourselves a barn burner.
We sure do. 4th down play, long yardage for Ansonia, so they punt the football away, and again a booming punt.
And it comes back with a good hop.
And for Ansonia, that is, as the football is going to be down inside the 10-yard line. And with the score, Derby 7 and Ansonia 6, let's break for these messages.
The rustic Colonial Tavern in Oxford, well known for their excellent banquet service, wants to let you in on a little secret. The Colonial Tavern also has a full luncheon and dinner menu with delicious meals served daily. If you're looking for a new place to go on the weekends, the Colonial Tavern has a piano player on Friday nights and big bands every Saturday night. Sunday night is reserved for singles. The rustic Colonial Tavern, Hawley Road off Route 67 on the Oxford-Southbury line.
It's football season, and Kenny and Billy are ready to go out there and win. They'll show you how to be a winner, too, by buying Cooper tires at the Ansonia Tire Center. Come in, see the wide selection of Cooper radial and bias tires. You know, finding the right tire is not a game, so the boys will tackle any tire problem you have to make you a winner. Buy your Cooper tires at the Ansonia Tire Center, Bridge Street in Ansonia.
Service.
Service. Service.
That's what Caston Derby Energy is all about. They've been serving the Valley since 1911, providing heating, air conditioning, commercial and industrial fuel service and oil. Caston Derby service doesn't end at 5 o'clock. They are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Without such prompt, efficient service, they couldn't have stayed around as long as they have. You can feel safe with Caston Derby Energy. There's a new truck on the road. It's called Comanche. It's built by Jeep. It's worth a look.
Derby breaks the huddle. Comes up the center is Jim Stewart. 1st down for the Raiders. What a game, and we are into this football game. There's the pitch out. That's Lewis. Slides off the right side. Almost broke the log jam at the line of scrimmage. Let's see where the football is marked. Marked just outside the 10-yard line. And a pickup of 2 on the play, and we just can't help at this point but just look at that scoreboard clock.
Big offensive series. Derby needs at least 1 first down.
Just 5 minutes remaining in this football game. Motion shown by Abel, and a handoff inside again for a couple of yards. Coach DeCenzo playing it close to the vest.
Tough not to be close to the vest down here, Edward. You and I both know that turnover here would mean disaster for Derby. The first down would give them some breathing room. It would allow them, if they have to punt the ball, to protect the kicker, but they can't afford a mistake, and they can't afford to be too open in their attack.
3rd and 6 for the Raiders. They have it at their 14-yard line. Pitch out. That is Lewis trying to find some running room on the right side. He will not get the first down. Left side of that Ansonia defense came up to make the play.
The Derby defense has done the job for Coach DeCenzo all afternoon, and he's going to put it into the hands of his defense right now, as his offense is not able to get a first down. The Ansonia Chargers are right now going to get the ball with pretty good field position. Even if Tommy Fosse unloads another cannon shot, they're going to have good field position a lot of time. And Coach DeCenzo was asking his defense again to do what they've done all afternoon with the exception of one play, and that is stop the Charger.
So a 4th down for the Raiders. Here's the situation. They have it at their 14-yard line. 4th, and they have to get outside to the, just outside the 20-yard line for the first down. And Fosse, who's also done a superb job all day long punting, is standing at his goal line. Fosse gets the snap from center, gets the punt off. On the other end, that is Terry McNamara, far sideline, driven out of bounds at the 44 of Derby, where Ansonia puts it back in play in excellent field position.
Great coverage on the specialties that time. He only was able to get the ball forward 5 yards, and that's excellent coverage. It forces Ansonia now to go 44 yards for the touchdown. Did not get a good return, and we've got 3:30 left to play.
And the football spotted at the 43-yard line. And we look again at the scoreboard clock. Again, we remind our viewers the scoreboard clock is not official. It is showing 3 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the game. Coppola wants to throw again, looking for Ahern. Ahern catches the football, but it is tough yardage against this Derby Red Raider team. And again, defending, it was Bogart.
It's only about a 5-yard gain as Ahern had to come way back to the football because number 45, John Bogart, is right on his back. He runs him right out of bounds, had excellent coverage, picks up about 5 yards, good first down play, but it's still not a big play, and the Derby defense has been able to keep from breaking with the exception of that one play. They are bending but not breaking.
Second down play coming up for Ansonia. We'll call it 2nd and 6. Football marked at the 38 of Derby. Wishbone for Ansonia, and the fullback is Fascini. Chernovitz straight ahead for what appears to be a first down close to the 30-yard line.
Watch Joe Chernovitz now. He's not in the fullback spot. He's at the off back. He comes off tackle, does a good job following Robinson for the first down. Big first down at the 30-yard line.
Football marked at the spotted now at the 31-yard line, and it is an Ansonia first down. Again, Chernovitz trying to find some running room, but he will be stacked up at the line of scrimmage as the entire middle of that Derby defense should be given credit.
The way the clock is running, Edward, this could be it right here. The Chargers, this may be their last opportunity to get into the end zone, and there may not be a great deal of time left for the Derby offense if they do score.
We should give credit to Kaprinski, Tony Kaprinski, the 6 foot, 210-pound senior, was at the bottom of that stack. 2nd and 10, football at the 30-yard line. Coppola calling signals, wants to throw over the middle. It is almost intercepted. Intended for Ahern over the middle, and Tom Abel is disgusted with himself. Almost had the interception.
Would have been a great interception. That ball was well thrown. It was tipped by Ahern. You'll see here is Ahern comes across, right across on a diagonal. The ball is out of his reach. Tommy Abel just cannot get the handle on it, and it would have been a great interception.
2 minutes, 29 seconds showing on the scoreboard clock. 3rd and 10 for Ansonia. Coppola again, hands off. That was Lane who checked into the football game, and a return pass to Coppola, unsuccessful, incompleted pass. And now what do you do? 4th down facing Bob Lisi and the Ansonia Chargers.
Surprised at that play. I am a little bit. I thought they might stay with their base offense. Lane did not really get a good throw off, and there was a Derby defender right there. So now they've got this is the package right here, folks.
This is it. This is it from the 30-yard line. 4th and 10 for Ansonia. In motion, McNamara. Coppola under a rush, rolls out to his left side as a receiver out there. Is it a catch?
Yes.
It is. Holman, Andre Holman.
Great call. Bobby Lisi set up trips to the left side. Jeffrey Coppola throws the ball down the field. Andre Holman is right there. He makes a great catch behind the Derby defenders, number 80, John Telke, and that is a first down and a timeout now for the Derby Red Raider defense. They are inside the 15 at about the 12-yard line. They have an opportunity to get a first down with 2:14 left to go.
Timeout on that field. 2:14, as Buddy has mentioned. Derby leads 7-6.
And you have to take your hat off to both football teams. They have played great football all day. It's a shame that somebody has to lose a game like this. I think last year we were watching a similar game with the Torrington Red Raiders also in Ansonia here, and it went down to a field goal with no time on the clock.
Last play of the game.
Nobody should have to lose a game like this. Both teams have played outstanding football. Derby has held the Chargers in check. The offense now for the Chargers, as one would have to expect, had to have some positive yardage, and they have gotten to it in the fourth quarter. The defense of Derby has done their job. It's just been a great afternoon of football, and I know everyone here has enjoyed this game as much as we are enjoying bringing the game to you, sitting in your homes on Sunday evening.
As well as Monday evening and Friday evening. We air each high school football game 3 times. First down play for Ansonia. Coppola rolls right, wants to throw. He's now running with the football as his receivers were covered. And let's give credit to Tilke for the defensive play for the Raiders. As
Jeffrey had no place to go. No receiver was open. He did about all he could do, trying to get to the corner. Watch John Tilke here. He's not fooled. Breaks down right there. Does not allow Jeffrey to give him a fake, and he makes the tackle, setting up a 2nd and 10. No loss of yardage. Jeffrey does not lose possession, and he's back ready to go.
Ansonia spreads it out. McNamara in motion on a passing formation. Coppola rolls left under a rush. Over the middle, has a receiver out there. Incomplete in the end zone. It was tipped by one of the Raiders.
Number 14 right there, Chris King, does a great job. Jeff turns back and tries to throw across the field. He's banged as he releases the ball. It's a little short, and Chris King almost became an instant hero for the rest of his life. Just could not hold on to the ball.
Well, the Chargers are determined to be the cardiac kids today. A 3rd down play coming up for Ansonia. 3rd and 10, football at the Derby 12. Derby sets in defensively. The Chargers up to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down play again. Ansonia spread formation. 3 wide receivers. Chernovitz the lone running back. Coppola under a rush. He's going to be brought down. Again, a key play. The Raiders blitz number 70, George Scarpolato.
Watch George Scarpolato break through here. Jeff has no place to go. Chernovitz looking. By the time he gets back to find Scarpolato, he has the sack. It sets up a 4th down on the 23-yard line, and Jeff Coppola is not going to be a part of this last play as he is limping. He was hurt on the play, and whether he stays in is going to be a big decision because he does not look like he can walk. Derby now must keep them out of the end zone, but they do have an opportunity, Ansonia, to get a 1st down on the 2-yard line. Jeff Coppola now is sitting down, and they're calling the trainer out as Coach Bob Lisi is with him.
Here is our situation on the sack by Scarpolato. Ansonia now has the football on that loss back at the Derby 24-yard line, and they have to simply they could get a 1st down without going in for a score, but for all intents and purposes, they have to get into the score on this 4th down play.
About a 21 or 22-yard 1st down and a 24-yard touchdown. Without their quarterback, it's going to be an awesome responsibility if Mr. Lane, and they are talking right now to James Lane, the sophomore 5'9", 139-pound backup quarterback who was in just a couple plays ago. He will be the likely choice to replace Jeff Coppola, and there's an awful lot of pressure on that young man. The game rests on this football play. As you see, Jeff Coppola now with Coach Lisi, Rich DeRazio, the trainer, and the doctor. It's his left knee, seems to be his left knee, and he was not able to put any pressure on it before he was sat down. You'll see the sack right here coming inside, grabbing him, and he will be thrown to the ground right here, and right there is where he turned that leg. The sack by Scarpolato. George, a 6-foot, 215-pound senior who's had a great afternoon for Derby. And you see that Jeff Coppola is not going to play another play, and we hope that it is not a serious injury and it does not keep him out of any other football games.
As you can see in your picture, Coach Lisi and Rich DeRazio carrying off star quarterback Jeff Coppola, and now the task falls to the sophomore quarterback, James Lane, 5'9", 139 pounds. Sophomore, and Ansonia has a great task before them.
What a story if this young man gets him into the end zone.
Lane, fourth down play, all the pressure on his shoulders. Snap from center. Lane wants to throw the football, looks downfield, has a receiver out there. It is. Let's see if it's caught or is it dropped. And even if it is caught, it might not have been enough.
Not enough for the first down. It is just going to come up short. I take my hat off to number 16. Great catch by Terry McNamara, but it is just about, oh, I'd say maybe yard and a half short of that first down territory. Great tackle inside, and that is, boy, that is a great, great attempt by Jimmy Lane. Look at his throw. He stands back there confident, throws the ball down. McNamara makes the catch, but right there he's popped, and he is up short of that first down. We still have a minute left. I don't know how many timeouts the Chargers have. I don't think they have more than one, so they're not going to be able to do much to stop the clock.
And just into the center of the line, that is Searles taking the snap from center. There is a timeout called on the play. I would like to repeat what you just said. For Lane to come in and do what he did, our hats are off to him. The young man handled himself very well under pressure. It just came up short in that situation.
Short. Whether the charged timeout, whether Bob Lisi was charged with a timeout with the injury to Jeff Coppola, I know he took a timeout. Whether they charged him or called it an injury timeout is going to be very important, because they did take a timeout back in the middle of the fourth quarter on one of their drives. So they may be out of timeouts right here, and if they are, the Derby Red Raiders will not have to give up the football.
So the football is marked at the 4-yard line. Once again, the Chargers completing a pass. It was the substitute quarterback in for the injured Coppola. Lane completing it to McNamara, but falling short by 1 yard for the yardage needed for the first down for the Chargers to retain possession. 51 seconds showing on the scoreboard clock. Raiders just would be content to run out the clock and hold on to this 1-point lead. Again, into the center, it's Searles just taking the straight handoff. And let's see if the Chargers can call timeout, or maybe they have in fact run out of timeouts.
I think they are.
3 timeouts per half, and you see Tom Fossey jumping up.
They're going to have to run one more play here. They're going to have to run one more play, and the football game is the Red Raider victory. All they have to do is sit on the ball right here, and it's over.
Third down play for the Red Raiders.
Why is Mark Searles taking so long?
And there's your flag. That's going to be marked off half the distance back to the goal line on delay of game.
He's back very close to a safety right now. He's going to be on the 2-yard line. He's got to fall forward. He's about the 1.5 yards. That's a bad, very tough penalty right there, because it's going to stop the clock.
And a third down play will be coming up. Football, as Buddy said, on the 1.5. Again, the handoff.
So that's it. If Derby has possession, it's over.
4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. That's it. That's it. The Derby Red Raiders have sprung the upset. Our final score, Derby 7, Ansonia 6. We'll be right back right after with the post-game show, right after these messages.
Just look at all the exciting things happening at the Center.
Hi, I'm Mike Healy from Healy Ford, Main Street, Ansonia. We're having our annual used car closeout sale.
Hey, Mike, look at these used 1985 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supremes. Each price to sell at $99.95.
Hey, Sam, look at these used 1985 Dodge Aries four-door sedans. Price to sell at $75.95.
Healy Ford offers the lowest interest rates anywhere, up to 48 months to pay.
That's Healy Ford Subaru, Main Street, Ansonia, Route 34, Derby.
Hey, Danny, you ought to get down to Body and Soul. They got some fantastic fitness equipment.
Carl, I was their first customer, and the best thing about Body and Soul is their great selection of shoes.
Oh, come on, Danny. Where else are you going to find Pre-Core rotors, universal power packs, lean machines, home Nautilus, Monarch exocycles?
Carl, get both doors in the water. Look at this. Nike racing flats, Tiger training shoes, FootJoy court shoes.
Body and Soul, 940 Chapel Street on the New Haven Green.
Danny, all right already.
It's not, I'm not through yet. Converse, Autry.
Long, long ago, man had no way to forecast the weather, so he never knew what to expect. Then came television news with forecast at noon, 6 and 11, and man never knew what to expect. Today, we have the Weather Channel, state-of-the-art forecasting 24 hours a day, with local forecasts 8 times every hour. So now things are a bit more civilized. The Weather Channel, weather of a higher order.
Coach, got to be a great feeling, I know, but how do you feel right now with your football team coming back with one of the great victories of all time?
Well, I can hear them from here. I know they feel real well. I feel about ready to faint here, I think. Great game, buddy. We came up here to play a real good football team, Ansonia Clas program, and our kids told me all week they were going to beat them. And I'll tell you the truth, I gave them a little speech about intimidation. I got to go back and apologize to them because they weren't intimidated. I'll say that much for them. We gave them a couple of opportunities that I didn't think we could give them and win. And yet we still pulled it out somehow. The kids just did a great job.
Offensively, your kids did a great job, both Orchano and Lewis, in the first half. Defensively, your defense did a great job keeping them out of the end zone. The one play was really a mistake, kind of. They went 70 yards, but other than that, your kids did a super job. Last week we talked about the defense. They went 14 quarters without giving up a score. What do you look for now in the rest of the season?
Well, next week first of all, we have Seymour coming up next week, and Paul does a great job with his kids, and it's another Valley game, and I'm not going to worry about that until Monday, but I know we're going to have to be a little concerned with our kids being so up in the air about this that we won't concentrate enough on Seymour, but we'll bring them down to reality real quick Tuesday afternoon.
Coach, again, thanks for stopping by, and hope to see you again next week. We'll be there to cover that game with Valley Cable.
Buddy, thanks an awful lot to you and to Ed and all the guys from Valley Cable. You do an awful lot for high school football.
We appreciate it, and you guys do more than we do.
Thanks a lot, buddy.
Thanks. Eddie and I will be right back for the summary of the game.
This is WVCV, Cable 10.
Buddy Chernovitz, a lot of key players in this football game, won by Derby 7-6, a lot of key plays. As you look back, you recollect, what do you see as the key plays, key players in today's Derby-Ansonia football game?
I think you have to start with John Bogard. We said that the throwing of Ansonia was a key to this football game. John Bogard did a great job covering McNamara and Ahern. Also, the contain. Jeffrey Coppola did not break contain as he did the other games that we've watched him. They kept him inside, whether it was Jadek, Kaprinsky. That inside rush did a great job. Fossey on the last sack. It just made it very difficult for Coppola to have the time that he normally had. And inside, they shut the running game down, which made it much more difficult for them to throw. So I think big plays. The kids rose to the occasion on that Derby defensive team, and that's probably the story. The defense of Derby. The offense played adequate, but they only put 1 touchdown on the board. The defense carried them. They made the big plays, and they end up with a 7-6 victory here in probably the biggest game for Coach Charlie DeCenzo in his coaching career.
You know, Charlie DeCenzo, 2 years ago in his first year at coaching, had come down to the same field, Jarvis Field. He and his Derby Red Raiders had Ansonia on the ropes, only to have Ansonia come back late in the football game, win that game, and eventually go on and win the state title. 2 years later, against a heavily favored Ansonia team, Charlie DeCenzo's team, they played the game plan according to the way the Derby coaches mapped it out. They played it to perfection. They held on against an excellent Ansonia football team. You know, interestingly enough, buddy, we talked about Bogart and the defense, but as we look back at the scoring summary, it was after the pass play from Searles to Gradadoria for that second quarter touchdown. Guess who kicked that extra point? John Bogart. So he figured prominently in this football game. Ansonia, of course, answered back. We can't say enough about them, too. They answered back. Their offense was being frustrated all afternoon by the Raiders. They came back. That 70-yard touchdown pass from Coppola to Ahern in the fourth quarter certainly made things interesting down the stretch, but again, it was the Raiders holding on. What about that play, too, at the last play when Lane came in for Coppola? He throws downfield to McNamara, and McNamara comes up a yard short.
Game of inches.
That's what it is.
Game of inches. Surprisingly, the game hinged on a couple of key plays, but the Derby defense held strong.
Well, that's going to just about do it from here at Jarvis Field in Ansonia. And a reminder to our viewers that our next Valley Cablevision High School football game of the week is going to involve these Derby Red Raiders. They're going to be playing at home against the tough Wildcats of Coach Paul Sponheimer. So once again, with our final score, Derby 7 and Ansonia 6 from Jarvis Field. On behalf of Buddy Chernovitz, Ed Clemens saying goodbye, everyone.
Experience Election 85, live exclusively on WVCV Channel 10B.